Chapter 178, Master's Grace. 10. Crack. It feels like my head is burning up with a fever. What kind of nonsense is this? There are more than just a handful of human cultivators waiting to return to the bright cold realm aboard the wonderfully mysterious fortress. Although they are remnants, their numbers exceeded thousands. Even if this is a mere speck compared to the total population of the Grand Alliance, can they be discarded so carelessly, like worn-out shoes? Is there really no way to open the dimensional gate? No. To open a dimensional gate, one must settle near the boundary of the dimension and use techniques to interfere with the dimensional barrier for over 10 years. Well, since the bright cold realm side closed the gate, it might be possible for them to open it again, but... So it's impossible from the true devil realm. Haiyan Woon nods grimly, murmuring. Opening it was difficult, but closing the dimensional gate also requires considerable effort, so I thought that they wouldn't close it without reason. Why on earth? Dismay settles on all our faces. Suddenly, Haiyan Woon looks back at the path we had come from. Wait, more importantly, the Black Dragon King is coming this way. At his words, Oh Hyun-suk asks in confusion, why is this Black Dragon King following us? No, rather than that. Isn't he coming this way because he's furious that the human side closed the entrance to the devil realm? After a moment of contemplation, Haiyan Woon sighs. That's a possibility, so let's avoid the area for now. It would be troublesome if we arrive at the dimensional gate and he takes out his anger on us because of his grievances with the human race Grand Alliance. Following Haiyan Woon's advice, Kim Yun steers the wonderfully mysterious fortress to another location. As we cross over a couple of mountain ranges to a different area, Oh Hyun-suk asks Haiyan Woon, seemingly puzzled. By the way, Chief Strategist Haiyan Woon seems reluctant to meet this Black Dragon King. Since he's supposedly your ancestor, why suggest fleeing instead of talking? It's a personal matter of the mystical scaled fish commanding sect. No need to worry about it. Haiyan Woon frowns slightly, then turns his head towards where the Black Dragon King is. And then, Haiyan Woon suddenly stands up, biting his lip. Damn, he's chasing us. He's not enraged because the human race side closed the gate. He was chasing us from the start. At his words, everyone tenses up. Prepare for battle. We don't know what's going to happen. Kurung, kururung. Shortly after, the sky fills with dark energy, and something appears in the distance. It's a dragon. It's massive. I laugh hollowly at the overwhelming size. Mountains. If a long mountain range flew across the sky, wouldn't it look like this? The true body of Seo Huiol I saw in the head realm is nothing compared to this enormity. If this is what a real dragon is, then Seo Huiol is just a baby snake by comparison. How many li long is it? It's immense. Most of those present are dumbstruck, uttering words as they behold the colossal body of the Black Dragon King chasing us. And then, kagugugu. The energy between the heavens and earth vibrate, and soon the Black Dragon King charges towards us, circling the wonderfully mysterious fortress. As his head the size of a mountain circles the wonderfully mysterious fortress once, his body naturally wraps around the fortress, engulfing it. Wawoon, wawoon. Dark clouds appear around the Black Dragon King, and he places his head and feet on the clouds, resting his body atop them. I watch him and suddenly think it's strange. Anger, that's for sure. But, what's that? It's difficult to read his emotions properly. Is it simply because his realm is so high? Or is he using some magic artifact to obscure the Heart Tribe's vision? Yet, it feels distinctly different from the sight-avoiding techniques used by Seo Huiol or the glimpses I had caught from other integration stage grand cultivators. It's as if his thought structure is entirely different from that of typical living beings. What exactly is it? This feeling. It's the same as when I saw the left hand of the star-shattering stage esteemed one from the Bloodine realm. Haiyan Woon, trying to shake off his dark complexion, stands up and pays his respects. To the ancestor, Elder Haiyan Woon of the mystical scaled fish commanding sect greets you. Thump, thump. The Black Dragon King's large eyes move to look at Haiyan Woon's face. Shortly after, Black Dragon King clicks his tongue. TSK, TSK. Worthless. The bloodline is too poor. Breeding wouldn't pass on any good bloodline. Haiyan Woon's emotional state visibly fluctuates at the Black Dragon King's words, treating Haiyan Woon like livestock with such casual talk of breeding. However, Haiyan Woon does not show his feelings on his face, calmly addressing the Black Dragon King. If the ancestor could share why you have sought us, I would be grateful to listen. It's not you humans I sought. Be quiet. More importantly, his gaze turns towards the wonderfully mysterious fortress. In that fortress, isn't there a cultivator in the entering Nirvana stage hiding? Bring that person to me. Everyone's expressions turn puzzled at the Black Dragon King's words. Isn't that too abrupt? There's an entering Nirvana stage cultivator in the wonderfully mysterious fortress? What kind of nonsensical talk is that? Even star-shattering esteemed ones have only been seen as avatars or fragments, never their true forms. and suddenly, an entering Nirvana stage cultivator, when even sacred vessel stage cultivators are only heard of by name. While I and others are bewildered, Black Dragon King growls with revealed rage. His emotions are hard to read due to being so different from ordinary beings, but as the rage intensifies, it becomes somewhat understandable. Who dares to break the promise with me and interfere between the true devil and bright cold? Have all entering Nirvana stage entities forgotten they must remain entrenched only within the astral realm? Zap zap, my whole body trembles. This being, not just an integration stage. This pressure feels different from her. No. The power itself feels like it is at the pinnacle of the integration stage. But I had never felt such pressure even when facing the her. That mad lord had advanced to the star-shattering stage. What is this being? Promises with entering Nirvana stage entities? And an entering Nirvana stage in the wonderfully mysterious fortress? As I'm puzzled, Black Dragon King begins to show signs of confusion. What? If it's an entering Nirvana stage entity, they cannot ignore this promise. Who are you? Are you a being from another heavenly domain? No, that cannot be. If an entering Nirvana stage being crossed from another heavenly domain, nobody would be unaware. But an entering Nirvana stage being is now feeling my presence and still remains quiet. Muttering incoherently, he speaks with a trembling voice. It can't possibly be, but I'll ask you humans. Black Dragon King's gaze turns to Kim Yun, who is controlling the wonderfully mysterious fortress. A few days ago, the event that manipulated fate's attraction and ripped through space-time, that wasn't the deed of an entering Nirvana stage cultivator, but the inherent ability of this fortress, was it? Only then do I realize what the Black Dragon King misunderstood. He felt the power of Yun's play and mistook it for the act of an entering Nirvana stage cultivator. The final act unfolded by the madman in this lifetime. It seemed to be of magnitude corresponding to an entering Nirvana stage being. Kim Yun nods. The power of this wonderfully mysterious fortress gathered spiritual energy from the plane of Qi to draw together artificial souls, and then used the movements of these artificial souls to influence the plane of fate, based on which it momentarily distorted space-time. Indeed, this is an inherent ability of the wonderfully mysterious fortress. However, all the main mechanisms were overloaded and ruptured, so it will take a considerable amount of time to use that ability again. Black Dragon King's complexion changes. His strong emotions made it somewhat understandable to read. Incredulity. The look of utter disbelief. After observing us for a while, Black Dragon King rolled his eyes. Well, if that's the case, I understand. It doesn't seem like you're lying fine. It seems an entering Nirvana entity hasn't killed the child of the Blood Ean. Then, kagugugu. Black Dragon King's energy begins to permeate the sky and earth. Just die. Kurung. It's cold. Suddenly, the energy from all directions plummets. The unmistakable power of a pinnacle integration stage being. A monstrous entity capable of reproducing the explosion of the realm annihilation, heavenly void formation with their own strength. But that's it. Wawoom. Kim Yun activates her consciousness. Simultaneously, the wonderfully mysterious fortress vibrates, and a total of 8 orbs of light position themselves in all directions around the fortress. Wawoom. 8 integration stage puppets block the momentum of the Black Dragon King. I vaguely feel Black Dragon King's pressure, and am certain. Indeed, the pressure felt just now is not of an integration stage being, but the power it possesses is merely at the integration stage level. There is absolutely no reason for us to lose. Sure enough, the Black Dragon King, upon seeing the 8 integration stage puppets, once again displays an incredulous expression. Puppets of a level comparable to mine. Are they the creations of that notorious Mad Lord? Huh. He sneers bitterly and roars. Kururum. Come forth, esteemed one's left foot. Simultaneously, behind the Black Dragon King, for nascent souls rise, creating a square spatial rift. Beyond the spatial rift, a reddish light shines, revealing something crimson. Kaulalak. A foot made of countless corals. If the esteemed one's left hand was still in the shape of a hand, the esteemed one's left foot looks more like a sea anemone of bones rather than a foot. Red corals intertwine and form a bone-like structure, with the bones sprouting and entangling like tentacles. Just as eyes sprouted on the left hand, numerous mouths sprout on this left foot. Wriggle. The esteemed one's left foot moves, gathering the devilish energy of heaven and earth. Hyen Woon, shocked by the sight, speaks with a trembling voice. Ancestor, why did you summon the Blood Ean realm's esteemed one? No, wait. Have you betrayed the bright cold realm from the start? Black Dragon King, unfazed, summons the esteemed one and gathers power. Kagugugu. Black Dragon King growls, looking down at us. With the esteemed one's left foot, handling 4 integration stage puppets should be manageable. And, behind the Black Dragon King, a massive shadow resembling the Black Dragon King appears. As a being with the blood of immortal beasts, sweeping you away is nothing difficult. Quong. The next moment, we failed to properly perceive what just happened. What? The surroundings are dark and confusing, but familiar. This place is the void space. I'm astonished upon realizing what just happened. With a single move of the Black Dragon King, the entire space where we existed crumbled, and we all entered the void. Kagugugu. And then, in the darkness far away, I can feel the Black Dragon King coiling and gathering power. Boom. The wonderfully mysterious fortress opens, and numerous puppets join the integration stage puppets. However, on one side, the esteemed one's left foot scatters crimson light and contends against the puppets, inevitably dividing our forces. By the decree of the heavens and earth, in the name of the Black Dragon King Hyan Eum, I create the Black Sea. The next moment, dark clouds fill the void and the scenery changes. In the nothingness of the void, a sea of pitch-black water appears. Cha! Below is the Black Sea and above spreads the dark clouds. From the center of the Black Sea, Black Dragon King begins to exert his power. Jeek! He opens his mouth. Ashen orbs of light gather at the corners of his mouth, illuminating the murky world of the blackness. Flash! The ashen beam fires towards us. The impact splits the sea in two. But Kim Yun calmly manipulates the wonderfully mysterious fortress. Soon, orbs of light also gather in the wonderfully mysterious fortress, emitting a beam similar to the Black Dragon King's. Kagugugu. The two beams collide. The wonderfully mysterious fortress is also a puppet. It's enough to keep the Black Dragon King in check. The beam from the Black Dragon King and the wonderfully mysterious fortress clash fiercely. Just then, Kagugugu. The sea that split due to the shockwave of the beams begins to change its form. The split sea transforms into a massive jaw. Sharp teeth sprout from the jaw, quickly morphing into a giant mouth. It's the maw of an immense dragon. The dragon's mouth swallows us whole. Boom Pong. One of the 8 puppets step forward. The puppet is made from the body of an integration stage cultivator of the cold spirit race. As this puppet extends its hand, the dragon's maw made of sea instantly freezes over. Not stopping there, as the puppet forms hand signs, the entirety of the heavens and earth freeze in an instant. The sea, the clouds, the void. In a moment, the surroundings turn into winter. Cha! A blizzard sweeps through, seemingly trapping the Black Dragon King in a prison of snow. But the next moment, ashen light bursts forth from within the prison of snow. Kagugugu. An immense momentum surges from around the Black Dragon King, and he flies towards the wonderfully mysterious fortress. A puppet made from an integration stage cultivator of the Western Flame race steps forward, raising a sword made of flames. Black Dragon King extends his horn, colliding with the sword raised by the Western Flame race puppet. Quong. Instantaneously, the shockwave spreads across the entire world, splitting the frozen sea and sky merely with its aftermath. Each aftershock is of a level equivalent to a strike from Song Jin at his prime. This is the battle of integration stage beings. However, not just Kim Yun, but also I, who have a deep understanding of puppets, look troubled. The Western Flame race puppet. The puppet that directly received a strike from Black Dragon King is already showing signs of deterioration. In contrast, Black Dragon King, unharmed, quickly opens his mouth to prepare a dragon's breath towards the Western Flame race puppet. If the battle continues this way, we will gradually be pushed back. If she were here, we might have had a chance to win. After Yun's play, she was completely destroyed, so there was nothing we could do. The Cold Spirit race puppet and the Western Flame race puppet cling to Black Dragon King, pouring attacks onto him. The Mountain Monkey race puppet, moving swiftly like a monkey, draws Black Dragon King's attention. Quong. A strike from the Mountain Monkey race puppet hits Black Dragon King, and mountains begin to rise from where it struck. These mountains, growing like tumors, continue to expand while sucking the Black Dragon King's energy. Behind the Mountain Monkey race puppet, the Supreme Tiger race puppet, shaped like a tiger, leaps forward, biting Black Dragon King's neck. Kagugugu. The power of the Supreme Tiger race puppet is simple. Overwhelming physical strength. Each strike has the brute force to tear apart space. That is the ability of the Supreme Tiger race puppet. In addition to that, 204 4-axis stage puppets are divided between the esteemed one's left foot and the Black Dragon King, providing support. Occasionally, the wonderfully mysterious fortress will not forget to shoot beams at the Black Dragon King. Thus, it appears like we are pushing the Black Dragon King into a defensive position. Yes, it appears so. Quong. Black Dragon King shakes off all the puppets clinging to him, sending them flying all at once. And then, Pong. The next moment, Black Dragon King moves at an astonishing speed, encircling us. So fast, the places his body brushes by dissolves into black water. Gradually, the surroundings again transform into the Black Sea, and the waters of the Black Sea pressure us from all sides. Chalk. Finally, the mountain monkey race puppet gets caught in the black waters. Wooduk, woodaduk. The sound of the mountain monkey race puppet cracking and gradually breaking is heard. Quong. The next moment, Black Dragon King's horn strikes one side of the wonderfully mysterious fortress. The wonderfully mysterious fortress shakes tremendously, and although Kim Yun attempts a counterattack, Black Dragon King already retreats, gathering energy in his mouth. It's not just about the difference in power or size, but the extensive combat experience. When one reaches the realm of an integration stage cultivator, their lifespan becomes unimaginably long, having experienced all sorts of events throughout the ages. Thus, the combat experience accumulated over countless battles and years would be tremendously vast. Pong. Black Dragon King's breath heads our way. Kim Yun gathers energy from the wonderfully mysterious fortress to counter the Black Dragon King, and the other integration stage puppets also aim towards the Black Dragon King. But the next moment, cheek. A square spatial rift opens behind the Black Dragon King, and he swiftly disappears through it. Immediately after, from beneath the Black Sea, the Black Dragon King emerges, flying up behind us. What? He unleashes the breath he has been gathering. We can't be yellow dash. The next moment, I wrap my arms around Kim Yun to protect her from the shock, gathering strength for the impending impact. And then, nothing happens. A shadow. Someone's enormous shadow shields the wonderfully mysterious fortress from the Black Dragon King's strike. I recognize the identity of the shadow and ask with a trembling voice. Master. Sure 3. Smoke rises from the entire body of Azure Tiger Saint, who received the Black Dragon King's breath. Azure Tiger Saint turns around and smiles. Sorry, I was a bit late trying to persuade the petty leaders of the Grand Alliance and breaking through the dimensional gate. Kalalak. Azure Tiger Saint. My master of this lifetime. Return to where the dimensional gate is. I will help you. Behind him, 10 pairs of wings sprout. As you are my disciples. Kagugugu. I realize how Azure Tiger Saint managed to block Black Dragon King's breath. And I also realize the legend passed down in the Azure Heaven Creation sect of the Azure Wing Heavenly Shatter performed with 10 pairs of wings. I will take responsibility as an adult, even if it costs me my life. Woo-woo. A blue light envelopes Azure Tiger Saint. The final, 10th pair of wings of the Azure Heaven Creation sect, obtained by burning one's own life. The master of the sect has come to this point, igniting his life to rescue his disciples. Translator notes, I thought I just had to remove RTOC from the KO5 page, but apparently I had to remove it from the website itself. As y'all probably noticed, I changed to Buy Me a Coffee LOL. Chapter 179, Master's Grace, 11. What a funny guy. Black Dragon King laughs, baring his teeth. A human of the human race who has mastered the body refining method, daring to stand before me? Do you not know that the vast majority of body refining methods you humans learn are but inferior versions of the demon beast methods? To boldly use an inferior method before me, one of the strongest of the Earth tribe. Azure Tiger Saint remains silent. Sheeing. Am startled as I look at Azure Tiger Saint. The color, it's changing. It's just as said. The Azure Spirit striking origin technique contained in his fists, which should have been rippling with a blue light and his wings, are gradually changing to a different color. Redness gradually fades from the body of Azure Tiger Saint. It's clear without asking. It's the essence of his life, the energy of his blood, rippling and leaving the body of Azure Tiger Saint. The blue of the Azure Wing Heavenly Shatter and the red of Azure Tiger Saint merge, turning into purple. As the 10th wing unfolds, Azure Tiger Saint transforms into the incarnation of purple. His appearance seems vaguely similar to Oh Hyun-suk, who had transformed his body with the energy of primordial chaos. Ha, you dare to oppose me? A mere body cultivator? Kurung, Kururung. Dark clouds begin to gather around the Black Dragon King, augmenting his power. However, Azure Tiger Saint pays no heed and walks towards the Black Dragon King. Kung, kung, kung. With each step forward, his entire body gradually becomes larger. With one step, he grows as much as a Feng, 0.32 centimeters. With 2 steps, a Cun, 3.33 centimeters. With 3 steps, a Qi, 32.3 centimeters. After 4 steps, he grows as much as a Run, 165 centimeters. 5 steps a Jian, 1.8 m, and after 6 steps, he grows as much as a Ting, 110 m. Finally, after 7 steps, Azure Tiger Saint's body has grown as much as a Li, 500 m. Quong. 8 steps. Azure Tiger Saint grows another 10 Li. Quong. 9 steps. 100 Li. And at last, 10 steps. Quong. What? Black Dragon King is flustered. The body of Azure Tiger Saint continues to grow. That's the giant transformation technique that can be unleashed at the Heavenly Being stage through the Azure Spirit Starlight Quintessence, great method. But this transformation is even more immense than what I have heard. burning his life to gain power beyond the 4-axis stage. It's a power that can't be explained otherwise. Soon, Azure Tiger Saint, now far larger than the mountain-sized Black Dragon King, raises his fist, akin to a titanic deity, in purple. Suddenly, Azure Tiger Saint's wings retract into his body, and 2 purple dragons writhe on his arms. What? Before the Black Dragon King can fully regain his composure, Quam, Azure Tiger Saint's punch plummets down on the Black Dragon King. Kugagugum. Literally, the heavens and earth split apart. The Black Sea created by the Black Dragon King is torn asunder, and the Black Dragon King, who had seemed formidable in our confrontation until now, coughs up blood and falls. You bastard! Are you burning your life? Kururung, kurung. The body of Azure Tiger Saint appears like a purple universe. Within his body, numerous purple celestial bodies can be seen floating. Azure Tiger Saint remains silent even as he faces Black Dragon King. He just keeps pressing on. That's the Azure Spirit Starlight Quintessence Great Method's final stage. The state of Azure Wing Heavenly Shatter becomes the base while life is burned. The ultimate technique of the Azure Spirit Striking Origin technique, the Azure Wing Heavenly Shatter, is wrapped around the fist. After transforming into a giant deity through celestial body transformation of the Starlight Protecting Void Body, the tremendous power of the 5 elements enduring origin scripture supports him. Fighting against the Black Dragon King, surrounded by darkness, his giant form looks like a purple celestial god. Kim Yun doesn't just watch. She controls the integration stage puppets to press the Black Dragon King. The Black Dragon King, who had been fighting evenly against the integration stage puppets, begins to be pushed back. No, he was clearly being driven back by Azure Tiger Saint. Quagwang. With every punch from Azure Tiger Saint that grazes his scales, it is visible to the naked eye how the body of the Black Dragon King is being torn apart. Quang. The Black Dragon King is blown back, coughing up blood. He glares at us, bleeding. You, KRH, dare. He is furious. The Black Dragon King roars. Do you think I would lose to the likes of you? I do not lose. I am the Black Dragon King, Hio Eum. I will return to my grand position. Chai. Simultaneously, a red aura begins to swirl around his entire body. Between the Black Dragon King's black scales, red blood energy starts to surge. Very well, now that I know your determination, let me prepare mine as well. Consider it an honor. I'm willing to shorten my lifespan just to annihilate you all. Keying. And the next moment, the blood energy emanating from the Black Dragon King soars even higher, and he suddenly charges towards the Esteemed One's left foot. The Black Dragon King and the Esteemed One's left foot merges. Keying. Red light twists and writhes together. Oh. Within the writhing Esteemed One's left foot, the red tentacles of the corals seem to pull the Black Dragon King's body. However, the next moment, the Esteemed One's left foot completely disperses in all directions. The Esteemed One's left foot becomes a cloud. No, it becomes a storm. Kurung. At the same time, a sea, the red blood cloud, harboring black lightning inside, disperses in all directions. Simultaneously, the blood swarming between the red clouds look almost akin to a sea. Wurung. The Black Dragon King merged with the Esteemed One's left foot, transforming into a phenomenon of the heavens and earth. The devilish energy of the true devil realm is drawn into the red storm, attacking the giant transformed Azure Tiger Saint. Azure Tiger Saint, buried within the dark red storm, silently faces off against the massive amalgamation formed by the fusion of the Black Dragon King and the Esteemed One. Kim Yun also mobilizes the integration stage puppets to block the red storm, but it proves futile. It can't be stopped. It has already surpassed the power of the integration stage. I have seen a being emitting that level of power before. Her, who was modified by the Mad Lord braggingly to the star-shattering stage, emitted precisely that level of authority. We have to help. I look at Azure Tiger Saint burning his life. The red storm is not just attacking his body, the mind. It's clear to my eyes that Azure Tiger Saint's mind is also being rapidly eroded by the storm. I can't physically block the storm. Even if Kim Yun mobilizes the entire wonderfully mysterious fortress, it will be difficult. What I can do is, I barely manage to move my trembling body again, to infuse blessings into his heart, so he can protect himself. The sea of righteousness and mountain of grace, in addition to infusing the nascent soul, is a strike that expels all of oneself in an instant. Naturally, it places an enormous strain on the body as well, not only on the nascent soul. Last time, I used the Sea of Righteousness and Mountain of Grace to save everyone from the Esteemed One's technique, and to lift Kim Yun's seal. I used it once more. Having performed the feat of squeezing out my entire being twice in one day, my body has been in a very poor state since then. If I use Sea of Righteousness and Mountain of Grace again this time, It will shave off at least 200 years off my lifespan. But that's nothing. After all, once you reach the nascent soul stage, time is in abundance. So, there's no need to hesitate any longer. TSDSSDS. I gather every droplet of strength in my entire body. Kim Yun manipulates the integration stage puppets to support Azure Tiger Saint, and Oh Hyun-suk is also gathering power, squeezing out his strength for Azure Wing Heavenly Shatter. The remnants of the human race from within the wonderfully mysterious fortress also came out, each preparing spells to support Azure Tiger Saint. Master! Oh Hyun-suk shouts loudly as he charges forward. Shararak. 7 pairs of wings extend from his back. They are wings surely made at the cost of his lifespan. Just when numerous individuals prepare to assist Azure Tiger Saint with their abilities. At that moment, Azure Tiger Saint, who was blocking the storm, suddenly glances back. The instant I see Azure Tiger Saint's eyes, I realize his intentions and shout. Master! Don't! Kugagugagu! Azure Tiger Saint throws a punch towards us. As his fist moves, the armor he is wearing, the blue sky armor, which had been dyed purple along with his technique, is stripped away and flies towards us. And perhaps due to the blue sky armor's function, we can feel the space itself being pushed back by the fist wind emanating from his fist, distancing us from him. Azure Tiger Saint's voice softly reaches us. The Earth Tribe Grand Alliance will soon close the dimensional gate again. Leave quickly. Master! Oh Hyun-suk, with tears streaming down his face, calls out to Azure Tiger Saint, and I employ Sea of Righteousness and Mountain of Grace with all my focus. Pot! It seemed as though a flash of light moved forward. However, my nascent soul failed to reach Azure Tiger Saint. Due to being pushed away from him, the distance my nascent soul had to travel became larger. My nascent soul just barely fails to reach Azure Tiger Saint and is about to return to me. But I keep my mouth shut and use a different technique. The moment my nascent soul wielded by the Sea of Righteousness and Mountain of Grace gets closest to Azure Tiger Saint, I use the mystical technique given to me by Giant Shin. The spell of the mysterious bizarre goo. Whiz. From my nascent soul, a fragment of my soul falls off and permeates into the body of Azure Tiger Saint. A spell originally created to counter the mental interference of the blood-in realm heavenly fiends. Through mysterious bizarre goo, I crawl into Azure Tiger Saint's soul. I then support his soul, resisting together against the mental interference of the esteemed one that is eroding his mind. Are you Seo Eunhyun? Noticing the presence of my soul, Azure Tiger Saint asks. I imbue strength into Azure Tiger Saint's consciousness and reply. Come to this side now. If Master moves now, we can barely cross over to the bright cold realm together. I share my partial soul and vision with Azure Tiger Saint from above the wonderfully mysterious fortress, persuading him. Gradually behind us, the dimensional gate of the bright cold realm that Azure Tiger Saint broke through becomes visible. We are being pushed towards the dimensional gate by the fist wind and the power of the blue sky armor. The dimensional gate is still closing in real time. If you come quickly now, we can time it so that just Master and not that monster can cross over. Hurry. Eunhyun. Azure Tiger Saint softly responds to my words. Do you know what I promised in exchange for the Earth Tribe Grand Alliance to open the dimensional gate for a moment? Yes. I promised to halt the advance of the star-shattering stage esteemed one with my life. If an esteemed one of the blood-in realm, even just a clone, are to set foot in the bright cold realm, it will immediately resonate the dimensional coordinates between the bright cold realm and the blood-in realm, providing a foothold for the esteemed ones of the blood-in realm to cross into the bright cold realm. Azure Tiger Saint smiles bitterly, consoling me. This is fine. If it means I can save my disciples, my juniors, I am satisfied with this. I bite my lip tightly. TSDSSDS. The wonderfully mysterious fortress finally crosses the dimensional gate into the bright cold realm. Why? Why do you, instead of yourself, choose to act for your disciples, your juniors? The cultivators I know are selfish, caring only about themselves. You too. Isn't it okay to live like that? After a moment of silence, Azure Tiger Saint smiles at my divided soul. Eunhyun, please convey my last words to Hyun-suk. Crack, Kerduduk. Gradually, red rays break through Azure Tiger Saint's mental barrier. I try to block them by sacrificing my soul, but the power of a star-shattering stage esteemed one is impossible to stop with just my partial soul. Crack. I silently heard the Azure Tiger Saint's last will, his final teaching. Wong. Azure Tiger Saint's body begins to overheat. After finishing his last words, he speaks to my splitting partial soul. Thank you. If it weren't for you, I might have already been consumed by the esteemed one's mind and possibly gone to kill Hyun-suk with my own hands. Master, once again, please convey my words to Hyun-suk. You too, keep my words in your heart and live by them. Yes. He smiles faintly. All this time, as a master, I have learned a lot from you. Thank you, my disciples. Flash. The next moment, my partial soul is completely torn apart, and red light floods into Azure Tiger Saint's mind. As I fade away from within Azure Tiger Saint, I witness him gathering all his energy to self-destruct with all his might. Flash, me, Oh Hyun-suk, Kim Yun, and the countless members of the human race within the wonderfully mysterious fortress. We see a great star shining from beyond the devil realm. Like fireworks, like flames. What is certain is that it is a star shining in the darkness. Oh Hyun-suk stares at the star with a lost expression. Finally, we cross the dimensional gate and arrive back in the bright cold realm. Surrounding us, an immense energy surge. The grand cultivators of the integration stage. 7 human race grand cultivators surround us. No, it's not. They are projections. A kind of avatar they sent by projecting their images into the spiritual energy of heaven and earth. These avatars each form a seal, stretching their hands towards the dimensional gate we came from. Close the gate. Kugugugugu. The dimensional gate begins to close. Upon seeing this, Oh Hyun-suk screams out in despair. Wait, just a moment. Please wait. My master is still there. He shouts as if he lost his mind, reaching out towards Azure Tiger Saint. Quiet. Stay still. Azure Tiger Saint swore to sacrifice his own life to save you. Are you going to waste your master's death? One of the integration stage grand cultivators sternly shouts at Oh Hyun-suk. But Oh Hyun-suk, half mad, gathers his energy. Wait, what are you doing? The 8th wing spreads from his back. The power of a 4-axis stage at its peak emanates from him. Oh Hyun-suk too is willing to shave off his lifespan to save Azure Tiger Saint. Move. I'm going to save master. Flash. A dazzling blue light ripples, tearing open the dimensional gate the grand cultivators are trying to close. As a result, the closing of the dimensional gate slows down. And in that brief gap, Kwon, something pushes its hand into the bright cold realm. Damn it, you cursed creature. Damn, it's the esteemed one's blood corpse. It's a hand familiar to us. The hand thrust into the gap of the dimensional gate gradually moves to pry open the gap in the dimension. At the same time, from beyond the dimensional gap, a voice identical to the owner of the hand is heard. Unhyun-ah, Hyun-siaka, open it. Behind, it is chasing me. Master. Oh Hyun-suk is shocked as he looks at the hand. And then, me and the grand cultivators simultaneously shouts. Hyungnim, no. Stop. Stop it. That's not Azure Tiger Saint. Crunch. I grit my teeth. Recalling the moment when Yuan Li morphed his face with Hyangwa's to beg for his life, the indignation of that insulting anger flared up in my mind once again. Azure Tiger Saint died. He perished gloriously. But that damn star-shattering stage esteemed one, and that Black Dragon King, just like Yuan Li, they are desecrating the soul of the dead. Hyun-suk, it hurts. Allah, if you help can live. Master? Is it really you, master? Crack. I struggle to my feet, speaking to Kim Yun. Yun, please suppress Hyun-suk Hyung. Yes. Kim Yun, too, seems to be in pain, biting her lips tightly as she moves the puppets to suppress Oh Hyun-suk. Chirik, Kairak. Simultaneously, the projections of the integration stage grand cultivators also use their spells to bind Oh Hyun-suk tightly. No. Let go. Let me go? Co Eun-hyun. What are you doing? Master is right there. Master is. That's how it was. In my past life, I realize why Oh Hyun-suk fell into madness. Azure Tiger Saint probably also entered the true devil realm to save Oh Hyun-suk back then, and had self-destructed to allow Oh Hyun-suk to escape. However, Azure Tiger Saint from my past life wasn't protected by my mysterious bizarre goo, and might have been completely taken over by the esteemed one even before self-destructing. Now, only an arm is being used by the esteemed one, but in the past life, perhaps his entire body was taken over and used for such purposes. The integration stage grand cultivators would have unhesitatingly killed Azure Tiger Saint transformed like that in front of Oh Hyun-suk, and then closed the entrance to the true devil realm. The esteemed one, until the very end, would have begged Oh Hyun-suk for salvation through the mouth of Azure Tiger Saint. Thus, until the very end, they would have desecrated Azure Tiger Saint's death. And now, in this life, since I have become his disciple, I will never let it happen. Do not desecrate. Crunch, crunch. My entire body creaks. Moving any more feels like it will kill me. But still I move. Taking my stance, I prepare sea of righteousness and mountain of grace. Someone's death. Roar. Once again, squeezing out my nascent soul, I growl towards the arm desecrating Azure Tiger Saint's death. With that filthy mouth. Flash, flash, flash. Kim Yun's puppets each shoot beams and cast spells to push the arm out of the dimension. The projections of the grand cultivators also try in their own way to expel the arm. Senior brother Oh. Not as Co Eun-hyun, Oh Hyun-suk's younger brother, but as the disciple of the Azure Heaven Creation sect. I call Oh Hyun-suk while concentrating my energy. Grand cultivators. I have good information to share. That guy is from the Heart tribe. He learned the Heart Path method. The arm wriggles, pointing at me, but I pay it no mind, my eyes shining as I continue. From now on, I will convey the last words of our master to you. Why did Oh Hyunsuk fall in my past life? Why did he go mad with grief? It might have been due to the schemes of the Blood-Een realm, esteemed one, but perhaps it was because the last words of Azure Tiger Saint hadn't been conveyed to him. Although he inherited the symbol of Azure Tiger Saint's power, the blue sky armor, he hadn't inherited the true essence of Azure Tiger Saint's spirit. That's why, possessing power but a crushed spirit, he fell into corruption. Sing. The arm gradually turns red. From the arm, red corals sprout, coloring the surroundings. The voice of the Black Dragon King, overlapped with someone else's, echoes all around. The vice is palpable. The wickedness of the filthy human race, who cold-heartedly abandoned their own kind in the devil realm and closed the gate. Chai, what is this? The Blood-Een esteemed one is using some kind of sorcery. It's the devilish arts of the Blood-Een realm. Red corals begin to grow from the projections of the integration stage grand cultivators. The red corals dye the heaven and earth spiritual energy in the bright cold realm into devilish energy, further empowering the arm. Gradually pushed back by the attacks of the integration stage puppets, the arm slowly approaches us. Another vice is felt. The wickedness of a madman who crazily modified other races into puppets. Suddenly, red corals also begin to sprout from the puppets controlled by Kim Yun. Creak, creak, creak. Ugh. Kim Yun clenches her teeth, attempting to control the integration stage puppets, but the red coral creates fissures in the command system between her and the puppets. At some point, the red energy emitted by the red coral flows back along Kim Yun's consciousness thread, invading her upper dantian. Kim Yun endures the pain, struggling to push the red energy out of her mind using her consciousness. In an instant, Kim Yun is incapacitated. Another vice is felt. The wickedness of those filthy beings who without hesitation baked and ate the same sentient species as elixirs. What is this? My body. Red corals begin to grow from the bodies of the human race remnants around. What is? I am shocked by this scene. Can the concept of vice be manipulated like this? No, more importantly, the Blood-Een esteemed one's left hand and foot didn't use such sorcery. Has the Black Dragon King started using such spells after merging with the esteemed one's left foot? FZZT. Corals sprout from me as well, but fortunately, the corals that emerge from me wither and die on the spot. Seeing this, I intuitively understand. Until now, the Black Dragon King was just one of the Dragon Kings from the demon race. An integration stage Black Dragon King who was born with a bit of immortal blood, but that was all. But at this moment, having merged with the flesh of the Blood-Een esteemed one, it seems the Black Dragon King had transformed into something different. He freely uses techniques that even a division of the star-shattering esteemed one couldn't use. What exactly is he? To use the concept of vice so freely? Ugh, no. Damn it. That Blood-Een realm fiend. The projections of the grand cultivators are quickly covered in coral, and the humans near the dimensional gate are all enveloped in coral, starting to be annihilated. I smile bitterly. I think of what Azure Tiger Saint, no? What my master had said to me. If it has come to this, I have no choice but to act similarly. If I'm the only one who can act properly, shouldn't I uphold his will now? Indeed, maybe I should have done this from the beginning. I quickly take out the white red wine I saved in my storage bag. The colorless glass sword tightly connects to my soul. I clench my teeth and summon the power of Sea of Righteousness and Mountain of Grace. I have no intention of using a strike that penetrates the essence of that being. I can't comprehend its thought process. So what should I do? Convert all the power of the Sea of Righteousness and Mountain of Grace, which is used to penetrate the plane of soul, into physical force. Keying. I explode my nascent soul at the plane of chi. With such a strike, regardless of whether that creature transforms the surroundings into devilish energy or not, I can send it far beyond. Listen, Senior Brother O. I approach the being with fierce determination in my eyes. This is the last teaching master has passed on to us. Sararak. Countless figures appear behind me. The canvas of myriad forms and connections. The artifact spirits that make up the canvas of myriad forms and connections are only clear as human figures to my eyes. To others, they will appear as nothing more than a faint mist. To Oh Hyunsuk and Kim Yun, it might seem like countless mists are laid out behind me. Since the canvas of myriad forms and connections store memories by reproducing scenes through artifact spirits, it doesn't contain memories in the artifact spirits themselves, making it impossible to transmit memories through it under normal circumstances. However, at the moment of my soul's explosion, as my soul's energy is torn apart and scatters in all directions, under the name of death, the boundary between self and others disappears, allowing me to show my canvas of myriad forms and connections to others for a very brief moment. I plan to use this brief instant to reproduce the moment Azure Tiger Saint passed his last words to me and convey it to Oh Hyun-suk. I turn around. Oh Hyun-suk, who still hasn't regained his senses, and Kim Yun, who is making eye contact with me. Kim Yun's eyes tremble. Fortunately, it seems she could overcome the red energy that invaded her mind. Don't go. Noticing what I am about to do, tears well up in her eyes. I'm sorry. I clench my teeth. I don't want to die either. Though a regressor's life is said to be infinite, this time is once in a lifetime. Every moment is once in a lifetime. Because I regress, death is all the more terrifying. Because I regress, it's all the more grievous to abandon this moment and reverse time. Because I regress, this moment is all the more precious. And, because it's precious, I will protect these precious people with my life. Being able to protect, as my master's last will says, is a privilege. I recall the last words of Azure Tiger Saint, the will he passed at the end, severing mountain swordsmanship. Once again, I bloom a new technique. No, to call it a new technique is somewhat inaccurate. The 26th move. If Sea of Righteousness and Mountain of Grace involves fusing all power within the sword and unleashing a strike, the newly created technique merely changes the process of unleashing to exploding. Master. One annihilation to the near shore. From the sword in my hand, a burst of pure white brilliance explodes. I explode all the power integrated within my nascent soul, with all the energy at the plane of chi. The next moment, the brilliant white light covers everything, and my mind is flooded with whiteness. The nascent soul collapses, but I have no regrets. If this allows me to protect the precious connections I've formed in this life, even at the cost of my own life, then it is enough. Countless figures follow behind me. Through the canvas of myriad forms and connections, everyone I've met so far is my connection and, at the same time, my master. Therefore, I return the favor to my masters as much as I received. However, I could not return the favor I received from Azure Tiger Saint. So by upholding Azure Tiger Saint's will, I will fulfill my duty. Thus, embracing the words of Azure Tiger Saint, I step towards death with a smile. Allah. Kim Yun sheds tears. He's going to die. Seo Eun-hyun, with no one else being able to react to the sorcery used by that evil being from the Blood-een realm except him, chooses to sacrifice his life to block the Blood-een esteemed one. Not like this. Just as she gathers all her strength to try and stop him. Sararak. Before her eyes, faint illusions appear. The faint mist that rose behind Seo Eun-hyun materializes as if depicting a person. It's Azure Tiger Saint. The last moments of Azure Tiger Saint. That's a scene from Seo Eun-hyun's memory. Kim Yun's pupils narrow instinctively realizing this fact. And Oh Hyun-suk, having seen the image of Azure Tiger Saint, also stops crying and looks at him. Why? Why do you, instead of yourself, choose to act for your disciples, your juniors? The cultivators I know are selfish, caring only about themselves. You too. Isn't it okay to live like that? Seo Eun-hyun's voice is also heard. His question resonates with Oh Hyun-suk. Oh Hyun-suk wanted to ask Azure Tiger Saint the same. What exactly is righteousness? What is affection? How could you so easily sacrifice yourself for your juniors? Eun-hyun, please convey my last words to Hyun-suk. And Azure Tiger Saint turns around with a smile. Oh Hyun-suk feels as if the projection of Azure Tiger Saint is looking right at him. People, from birth to growth, receive immeasurable grace that cannot be expressed in words. The reason I have upheld righteousness and maintained my version of goodness is because it is the duty and responsibility of everyone who has received grace throughout their life. No, it is not a duty but a privilege. The last words of the Azure Tiger Saint continue. To act with righteousness, dreaming the impossible dream. To act with righteousness, overcoming endless trials. To endure unbearable pain for the sake of righteousness. To die for the noble ideal that righteousness defines. Gazing upon righteousness, knowing how to mend our wrongs. It is his song. The belief that Azure Tiger Saint pursued all his life. Born with a strong and blessed body. Living life with the willpower to make bone-grinding efforts. As a chosen one, showing mercy to the weak. Providing opportunities to those with abilities, protecting successors as an elder. Fulfilling responsibilities to those under him. Azure Tiger Saint, deemed a kind soul by the Mad Lord, sang of pure goodwill. To love each other with purity and goodwill. To have pride in impossible dreams. Hearing Azure Tiger Saint's song, Oh Hyun-suk stops crying. Wiping his tears, he stands up and respectfully bows towards the illusion of Azure Tiger Saint. Kim Yun could no longer try to stop Seo Eun-hyun. All cultivators, especially those above the nascent soul stage, reaching the heavenly being stage, are madmen. Though they seem sane on the outside, every one of them has a part that's flawed or gone insane. Yes, Azure Tiger Saint was mad with goodwill. No, to be precise, he was mad with purity. To believe and act on the insane logic that one can sacrifice oneself for others, for those one is responsible for one's people. Kim Yun could no longer stop Seo Eunhyun's actions. Seo Eunhyun is now inheriting Azure Tiger Saint's will. Bearing Azure Tiger Saint's last words in his heart, he truly upholds that will. Because she can read heart essence through the mysteriously wonderful innate heart canon, she was rendered unable to move, reading the resolute heart of Seo Eunhyun. Azure Tiger Saint's song, his purity, finally comes to an end. Believing thus, reaching the stars. This is not a simple verse. This is his purity conveyed to Seo Eunhyun, Oh Hyunsuk, and all remaining disciples of the Azure Heaven Creation sect. Once again, please convey my words to Hyunsuk. You too, keep my words in your heart and live by them. Yes. Boom. The body of Azure Tiger Saint bursts. And just as he had sung, Azure Tiger Saint becomes a star. All this time, as a master, I have learned a lot from you. Thank you, my disciples. Flash. The spirit of Azure Tiger Saint, just like himself, becomes a star and illuminates in all directions. A madman, lost in purity. But if this world is hell, maybe it's because he was pure that he had to die now. Maybe it was because he was too good that he could not live any longer. However, his will is definitely conveyed to Oh Hyunsuk through Seo Eunhyun. Oh Hyunsuk sees a person dispersing with a white glow beyond the star that Azure Tiger Saint became. From now on, I will continue to carry on this will. Oh Hyunsuk clenches his fist and shouts. By doing so, definitely, I will prove that Master's heart was not meaningless. Watch over me from the other side. Seo Eunhyun. Oh Hyunsuk, with determination, swallows his tears and shouts at Seo Eunhyun. As simply as that. A person's heart, conveyed to another. And with that, the fate of Oh Hyunsuk, who would have become a fallen wreck after Azure Tiger Saint's death, twisted. Step by step, Kim Yun slowly approaches Seo Eunhyun. Seo Eunhyun stands there, with his sword swung. Seo Eunhyun died while triggering his nascent soul. The dimensional gate completely closed, and the arm of Azure Tiger Saint completely vanished, no longer subject to desecration. He died with a smile. Maybe it was the relief of being able to protect his connections in death. She approaches Seo Eunhyun and closes his eyes for him. And then, Seo Eunhyun's body finally seems to find peace, slowly collapsing into Kim Yun's embrace. Kim Yun lowers her head and gently kisses the lips of the fallen Seo Eunhyun. Oh Hyunsuk, watching this scene, murmurs. You were truly meaningful to so many people, Eunhyun. Around Seo Eunhyun, countless ethereal figures stand centered on him. Those figures embrace Seo Eunhyun, who now rests on Kim Yun. To me, there was only one master, but for you, Eunhyun. To you, your masters were everyone now embracing you, weren't they? Oh Hyunsuk momentarily feels as if he sees his own figure among those ethereal spirits and closes his eyes. Rest well, Seo Eunhyun. You've sufficiently repaid all the grace of the masters you wish to protect. Now, rest on the other shore. Oh Hyunsuk thus commemorated Seo Eunhyun. However, contrary to Oh Hyunsuk's wishes, Seo Eunhyun did not reach the other shore. As the name of the ultimate technique, one annihilation to the near shore, suggests, the place Seo Eunhyun was to reach was just another near shore. But, for this moment at least, as he struggled, trying with all his might to repay and protect the grace of all the masters he has met in his life, perhaps Seo Eunhyun was able to rest comfortably, embraced by the many people around him. This was Seo Eunhyun's 15th return. Author's note: I would like to disclose that the last words of Azure Tiger Saint are a homage to Don Quixote. Azure Tiger Saint was greatly influenced by Don Quixote, especially by Don Quixote's purity. Now, the purity of Azure Tiger Saint, akin to that of Don Quixote, has been passed on to Seo Eunhyun. The Azure Heaven Creation Sect episode was written to awaken both Seo Eunhyun and myself, feeling that we both had somewhat forgotten the initial spirit of the early days of, if I find the way in the morning, I am content with death in the evening. Now, having inherited Azure Tiger Saint's purity, Seo Eunhyun has gained the heart to die again for a noble ideal, bear impossible dreams, fight invincible foes, and endure endless pain. In a way, it can be said he has rediscovered his original intentions. As finding the original intention was the main goal of this episode, both Seo Eunhyun and I will strive to rediscover our initial intentions and work harder. I extend my gratitude to all readers who have been with us so far and promise to continue delivering good stories in the future. Thank you. Translator notes: this cycle is probably my favorite cycle yet. Also, this chapter took the longest time ever to translate, and is probably one of the longest, being almost 6K words, almost 6 hours. Phew. By the way, Blue Sky Armor can also be translated as Azure Heaven Armor, which correlates to Azure Heaven Creation Sect, but it sounds too tacky. Blue Sky Armor has that simplistic feel that I think fits better with it being just a Dharma treasure. It's totally not, because I don't want to go back and update the terms. Extra donated chapter by previous donators on Ko-Fi. I forgot to note down the previous donators before deleting Ko-Fi. I apologize. And a sexy cow. Thanks for the support. Chapter 180, 15 Cycles, First Day. SSSSH. Consciousness returns. Could it be the price for having forcefully exploded my nascent soul? My head feels so dizzy, it's as if I'm going to vomit. But that feeling is fleeting. I regain consciousness. And then, a familiar voice reaches my ears. Make your choice. We'll soon scatter according to the guidance of the bright cold realm seniors. Which faction will you join? I look at Seo Huiol in front of me while pressing down on my throbbing head. He's looking at me with a rather interested expression. Not just him, but Jean Byuk-ho, Hyo Guak, and Azure Tiger Sane are all staring at me with shocked expressions. Greed can be seen in the eyes of the Mad Lord as well. My head is throbbing, perhaps because my consciousness has grown too large. Ever since I attained the 5 energies converging to the origin, my consciousness became slightly larger than those of my peers, and it had grown even more after learning the wonderfully mysterious innate heart canon. In such a state, I reached the nascent soul stage in my past life. My consciousness, having just reached the nascent soul stage, is now in terms of sheer size, at the peak of mid-nascent soul stage. Is it because my consciousness has grown too large? Even though I had undergone complete transformation in the head realm, my head started to hurt and throb. It seems that even after harmonizing my body once, the size has grown too much to bear. Fortunately, even though the harmony is disrupted, the body granted by 5 energies converging to the origin seems to hold up well enough that my head doesn't explode right away. However, anyway, isn't this a nascent soul stage cultivator's consciousness? If the size of the consciousness is that big, it would overflow from the plane of soul and even affect the plane of chi. Getting a nascent soul would be greatly advantageous for him. With his level, it seems he's immediately usable as a force, doesn't it? Indeed, the human, who had possessed a core formation stage consciousness, had his consciousness size suddenly grow to the nascent soul stage after exchanging a few words with Seo Huiol. Setting aside the marvel, a consciousness level above the nascent soul stage, as they said, affects the plane of chi, meaning he can be immediately utilized as a force if managed well. Therefore, how about joining our Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect? We'll give you the position of an outer sect elder right away, and if you elevate your cultivation, we'll even offer you the position of an inner sect elder. No, it seems like your soul is familiar with death. If you join Black Ghost Valley, you can achieve tremendous success. Infinite methods fitting the history of our valley await you. Considering your consciousness and that aura of death, joining Black Ghost Valley would mean a nascent soul stage consciousness. You're a talent capable of properly digesting the training of our Azure Heaven Creation sect. If you join now, I'll give you the position of a First Cloud disciple and the status of my direct disciple. Jean Byuk-ho, Hyo Guak, and Azure Tiger Saint, none of them wanting to be outdone, shout at me with bright faces. In the early part of my past life, while it was considered a marvel that I possessed a consciousness of the core formation stage, it wasn't met with such fervent enthusiasm as it is now. The intensity of their interest is curious. That isn't all. Seeing this makes me even more covetous. With your caliber, I will recommend a place for you in the True Dragon Alliance. And if you wish, not just my blood, but I will also use my recommendation for you to participate in the Immortal Beast Blood Fusion. Seo Huiol also looks at my consciousness with an expression of wonder. The Mad Lord, seeing the size of my consciousness, seems on the verge of madness again, rolling his eyes and trembling his fingers. From experience, this is a prelude to his madness. If it erupts, he will bite his fingers and go berserk. This isn't the time for this. I swallow my saliva inwardly. Only upon witnessing the Mad Lord's reaction do I snap back to reality. If I zone out now, I'll end up kidnapped by the Mad Lord, and any choice I might have will vanish. Of course, given my current state. I can feel the colorless glass sword lying dormant within me. The colorless glass swords passed down from my past life after consuming white-red wine. Connected to the colorless glass swords is the canvas of myriad forms and connections. Within the canvas of myriad forms and connections, I can feel the accumulation of my past life's cultivation and experiences. I sense that, if handled well, I can use the canvas of myriad forms and connections as a beacon to reclaim the realm of nascent soul within 10, 20 years. I want to shorten that time, but the problem is matching the timing of the rituals and ceremonies required while practicing cultivation methods. Nonetheless, as it became possible to regain my cultivation in a short period, even if kidnapped by the Mad Lord, escaping soon after would be feasible. But honestly, Doing so is pointless effort. Let's set aside the sentiments of my past life for now and make a choice first. I rack my brain hard. As cultivators ascend in cultivation realms and their consciousness expands, their intelligence, thinking speed, memory, etc., increase proportionally, little by little. Of course, the degree of proportionality varies from person to person, but it's true that the breadth of thought changes according to the size of consciousness. With my nascent soul-level consciousness at full throttle, I consider the best possible choice. And finally, I make my decision. Jean Bayuk Ho, Hio Guak, Azure Tiger Saint, the Mad Lord and Seo Huil are looking at me. I choose. Without hesitation, I walk towards one person. Ho, you've chosen me. He gives me a warm smile and pats my shoulder. The Mad Lord's expression sours. I feel like vomiting too, but I force a smile and bow to him. I, who am still lacking, wish to study under the guidance of the renowned Seo Huil. Ha ha ha, good choice. I will take care of you without fail. Although you are not of the demon race but the human race, I will make sure you're not ostracized or bullied among the demons. Thank you. I try to get used to the revulsion of Seo Huil's hard essence while scanning my surroundings. The eyes of the others are filled with pity, and the Mad Lord clicks his tongue and turns his head away in displeasure. I turn my gaze to Yun below the Mad Lord. In my past life, I planned to choose Azure Tiger Saint from the start, so considering his pure characteristics, I even went ahead and hugged Yun in front of the Mad Lord. But now, it is difficult for me to approach her. Not only is the Mad Lord glaring, but unlike the pure Azure Tiger Saint, if I act friendly with the Mad Lord in front of Seo Huil, I don't know how I will be stabbed in the back later, so caution is necessary. While I am sorting out my thoughts, the Mad Lord starts arguing with the 4-axis stage wooden man and begins to go berserk. Seeing the Mad Lord losing it, Seo Huil quickly tells the 4-axis stage demon who came for them to leave this place. While the Mad Lord is having an outburst and Seo Huil is preparing to leave, I secretly create a spirit clone from my soul and mix it with the record of transcending cultivation and exhausting martial arts without anyone noticing. Then, I throw it towards Yun without anyone realizing. My spirit clone, with mysterious bizarre goo, infiltrates her consciousness unnoticed. Though I can't comfort her in the early stages of this life, through mysterious bizarre goo, I can keep in touch and comfort her in the future. I silently thank Giant Shin who passed on this technique and follow Seo Huil. Gurion seems displeased with me riding on her head, but persuaded by Seo Huil, she allows me to climb onto her neck. Shortly after, she takes off into the sky and leaves the flying immortal platform. From atop Gurion, I look down below, watching the Mad Lord throw a fit and pull out the wonderfully mysterious fortress. And then, my gaze falls on Azure Tiger Saint, caught in the middle of them. Seizing a moment of respite, I bow to him in my heart. Even though he was my master in my past life, he has not become a different person through the regressions. However, my feelings for him has not changed. He is the steadfast pillar and master in my heart. I will not forget your teachings. From now on, I will be under Seo Huil. I can't begin to imagine how dark and twisted the world beneath him might be. But precisely because of that, I resolved myself even more not to forget Azure Tiger Saint's spirit, turning my head away from the tumult caused by the Mad Lord at the flying immortal platform. I've set my goals for this life. Originally, I considered joining the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect or maybe the Black Ghost Valley, which seems to suit me. But while contemplating atop the flying immortal platform, I decided on the objectives for this life. First, to find out what exactly happens to Ohai Seo, who was taken away by Seo Huil. Sitting among the other demons on top of the 4-axis demon's head, I watch Seo Huil chatter away with a pleasant smile. It is necessary to delve into the dark schemes within him to uncover what he plans to do with Ohai Seo. Second, starting from the Black Dragon King, Hyun Hiwem, find out what those dragon races are really up to. Blood Een Realm's star-shattering Esteemed One and the Black Dragon King are clearly related. And Seo Huil, the crafty serpent who supported Yuan Li's ascendance from the Head Realm to the Blood Een Realm. Without understanding what these dragon races want and their true identities intertwined with the Blood Een Realm, I might not be able to keep up with the situation in the Bright Cold Realm. So, this time, I plan to infiltrate from within to discover their objectives and identity. And finally, third, and the most important, perhaps the most challenging task, starting now, as I cultivate under Seo Huil and reach the core of the demon race. Thinking of the madness of John Myung-hoon and the tragedy of the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect, I will infiltrate the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect and steal the Heavenly Lightning Banner before it is destroyed by the true immortal. Then, bringing the stolen Heavenly Lightning Banner into the demon territory and throwing it into the mouths of Seo Huil or Hyun Eum, I will achieve perfect counterpoisoning. This third goal is the main reason I chose Seo Huil. In this life, I will confirm Ohai Seo's situation and the dragon race's objectives, and by stealing the heavenly lightning banner, I will deal a significant blow to their base. These are my biggest goals of this life. Unnoticed by Gurion, I disperse the formless sword within me. Then, I create a gang sphere in the center of my dantian to form my inner core. Wawoom. As the inner core forms and stabilizes the center of my body, the throbbing in my head eases a bit. Feeling the energy of my inner core, Gurion, who is carrying us towards the Earth Tribe territory, speaks. What's this? Were you a demon? I can feel demonic energy. Are you perhaps a half-demon? I clear my throat, and then responded to Gurion in demon language. I'm not a half-demon. I am indeed of the human race, but I learned a very unique method in the lower world that allows me to form a demon core even with a human body. Upon arriving in the bright cold realm, the achievements that had been blocked until now have been unlocked, and a demon core has formed right away. Ha ha ha. Oh, even demon language? Well, you Heaven Tribe theoretically can learn Earth Tribe methods too. As I fluently speak the demon language and reveal the energy of my inner core, Gurion seems to develop a bit of goodwill towards me, no longer appearing entirely uncomfortable. Seeing my actions, Seo Huiol comes down from Gurion's head and walks over to me, sitting at her neck. Swoosh. Pretending to look down below from atop Gurion's neck, heading towards the Earth Tribe territory, I pay my respects to Seo Huiol. Thank you once again for accepting me, Dragon King. Don't call me King. In the bright cold realm, the title of King is reserved for those of the integration stage demon kings. Anyway, not taking in a talent like you would mean I'm a fool without eyes. To think you can even form a demon core, you're much more compatible with our demon race than I expected. Thank you. And you've learned the demon language too. I really can't help but take a liking to you. Since I can't take my eyes off a talent like you until we reach the Earth Tribe territory, why not learn this method? I personally created it, and it's suited for an excellent talent like you. Seo Huiol, smiling, takes out a method manual bound in demon beast leather from his bosom and hands it to me. The name of the method is Summoning Wind, True Blood Transformation. As I silently look at the method manual, Seo Huiol gives a bitter smile, seeming apologetic. Truthfully, I wanted to provide you with a more proper demon method. But it seems this is the best we can do before we reach the True Dragon Alliance, which is the headquarters of the demon race, for someone of human origin like you. Please understand. However, reading Seo Huiol's heart essence, I can see that although he verbally expresses regret, his suspicion towards me is gradually rising. Damn it. Accepting the Summoning Wind, True Blood Transformation will make me his puppet and livestock, and not accepting it will make Seo Huiol suspect me. I had never intended to fully gain his trust, but I hadn't expected to be suspected so soon after choosing to align with Seo Huiol, not even half a day in. Caught between a rock and a hard place, I opened my mouth while looking at the Summoning Wind, True Blood Transformation. Author's note. Main quest list for 15th cycle. 1. Check on Oh Hyeseo's situation. 2. Spy on the dragon race. 3. Steal the heavenly lightning banner. 4. New. Survive Seo Huiol's manipulation. Translator notes. Donated chapter by Clementine, Someone, Bright Spark, Fatty Daoist, P7, and Glad. Thanks for the support. Chapter 181, The Tribe of the Earth, 1. Thank you for your kindness. In the end, the best thing I could say was this. I meticulously manipulated my facial muscles in detail, managing to smile broadly without letting any hint of being forced to show at all. By controlling my heartbeat to show a genuinely happy physiological response, Seo Huiol's suspicions did not grow any further. It's not that suspicion has disappeared, it just hasn't grown any further. It seems that he is the type to be suspicious of everything in the world whenever an issue arises. Haha. Then diligently practice until we reach the Earth Tribe territory. With your talent, you should be able to grasp the form of consciousness within at most 4 days. He's saying he'll suspect me if I don't form the consciousness into a dragon shape within 4 days. Silently listening to Seo Huiol's well wishes a bit longer, I had no choice but to unfold the manual for Summoning Wind, True Blood Transformation. The manual, written in the language of the demon race, detailed the intricate training methods for Summoning Wind, True Blood Transformation. The Summoning Wind, True Blood Transformation that Yuan Li bragged about stealing from Seo Huiol is a demon beast method that a cultivator at the nascent soul stage of the human race can practice. However, after roughly reading through the essentials, I simply erased the knowledge from my mind. There's no reason for me to learn this crazy method with my own hands. The offhand remark Seo Huiol made about being able to form the shape of consciousness within 4 days meant that if I didn't, he might suspect me. Then there is only one solution. Let's master the Summoning Wind, Dragon Transformation. Instead of the nascent soul stage method, Summoning Wind, True Blood Transformation, I decided to master the Summoning Wind, Dragon Transformation, which I received when I was at a much lower cultivation. Later, After regaining my state at the nascent soul stage, I will completely remove the effects of the lower-level summoning wind, dragon transformation. Of course, I wasn't going to master it myself. Well, I communicate with Yuan Yu, melted inside my body through blood body skin armor, and perform summoning wind, dragon transformation through it. The consciousness overlapping with mine starts to take the shape of a dragon as it changes. Since it's a technique I had already mastered before, the difficulty level isn't that high. I operate the wonderfully mysterious innate heart cannon in accordance with the consciousness of Yuan Yu, hiding my form of consciousness within the consciousness of Yuan Yu. Now, to the outside, my consciousness takes the complete shape of a dragon. As my consciousness form changes, not only Gurion but also the representatives of the demons from the head realm who had ascended with us came to offer their well wishes. Haha, Dragon King Sio no, from now on, it's Sir Sio. Seeing you have made a good connection with Sir Sio, it seems you are someone with many blessings. Your future path will be smooth as Sir Sio is someone who takes good care of his own. Huh? The mighty Tiger King and the holy Peng King pat my shoulders and continue their well wishes. A few days later, finally, aboard Gurion, we arrive at the demons, no, the Earth Tribe's largest territory, the True Dragon Alliance. Whoosh! I admire the landscape of the True Dragon Alliance from above, embracing the wind in the sky. Countless mountain ranges stretch out in a line. The color of the mountains are pure white, each emitting dense spiritual energy and giving off a divine feeling. Below the mountains flow rivers of black and white. The rivers seem to weave through the entire land, spreading out like a net beneath the mountain ranges. The white and black rivers are mostly separate, but occasionally they merge, creating areas where multicolored mists rise around them, looking quite mystical. The territory of the True Dragon Alliance is mostly as described, boasting a size and vastness that is immense compared to the combined territories of the human race's Sky Islands. Looking at that endless horizon, I am overwhelmed by its size and vastness, taking a sharp breath. While observing the countless mountain ranges and the black and white rivers from atop Gurion, I suddenly realized something. The shape of those mountains, the flow of those rivers. It's almost like bones and blood vessels. Is this a natural landscape? Oh, for a human, you have a good eye. As I look down and speak, Gurion smiles and explains. It's not purely natural terrain. That is the corpse of the great dragon ancestor who had reached the entering nirvana stage from our dragon race long ago. Our True Dragon Alliance was established on top of their corpse. Just as you said, those mountains are their bones, and the rivers are their veins and blood. I gape at the vast land below. If what she said is true, the size of the dragon ancestor at the entering nirvana stage would be even larger than the combined territories of the human race. A single sky island of the human race is slightly smaller than the continent of the head realm. Thinking of the territory of the human race crowded with numerous sky islands and being larger than that area means each part of his body is the size of a continent. That's rather cosmic in scale, isn't it? I naturally open my mouth as I imagine the gigantic body of the dragon. Hearing Gurion's explanation, the other representatives of the demon race also look surprised, gaping down at the land. Then, Sio Huiol, also curious, asks Gurion a question. I heard that reaching the entering nirvana stage essentially means there's no limit to one's lifespan. Yet even such a being had passed away. Originally, the ancestor was supposed to ascend as an immortal beast. However, before the True Devil Realm was separated from the Bloodine Realm, during a war with the True Devil Realm, and after protecting the Bright Cold Realm from it, they passed away. It's because of their sacrifice that all beings in the Bright Cold Realm can enjoy such prestige. Also, the ancestor was killed by a member of the Devil race at the entering Nirvana stage from the True Devil Realm? Wouldn't that be the case? The records aren't detailed about how the ancestor died, so it's hard to say. Sio Huiol silently looks down at the vast land after hearing Gurion's response. After a while, we finally arrive at the heart of the True Dragon Alliance territory, the place known as the headquarters of the True Dragon Alliance. That place is the headquarters of the True Dragon Alliance boast a size comparable to that of the Human Race Grand Alliance's main sky island, the Heavenly Human Island. Actually, it seems even larger than the Heavenly Human Island in terms of size. Kagugugu. It's a mountain that stands on vast land, more massive than any other mountain range I have seen before. Strangely, the mountain is a perfect square, clearly divided on all sides, unlike any other mountain ranges that were said to be the bones of the dragon ancestor I had seen before. It feels bizarre. Looking at the shape of that mountain, I feel a distinct difference from the mountain ranges described as the bones of the dragon ancestor. It's as if a mountain from somewhere else had been plucked and dropped here, creating an eerie feeling. What is this? As I wonder, Gurion introduces the headquarters of the True Dragon Alliance. Well then, welcome to the True Dragon Alliance headquarters, the Serving Command Arkansas. Serving Command Ark? When one of the demon beast representatives asks, Gurion, while looking at the square mountain, replies, our True Dragon Alliance headquarters is located inside something called the Serving Command Arkansas. Haha. Don't be too surprised, everyone. Inside this arc, there's an unimaginably vast space compressed again, so the space inside is as broad as the entire True Dragon Alliance territory combined. Oh, it's said to have been one of the immortal treasures from the ancient True Immortal realm, but now it's almost devoid of its original functions and has become a wreck, with us using only its shell. I marvel at the mind-boggling size described by Gurion, focusing on the name, the Serving Command Arc. What's the relationship with the Serving Command Palace? Just as I'm thinking that, Co Huiol asks Gurion another question with a smile. By the way, Senior, the area where our True Dragon Alliance headquarters is located, may I ask which part of the ancestor it corresponds to? Ah, the place where Serving Command Arc is situated corresponds to the neck bone of the ancestor. Just a bit further back is the sacred land of the True Dragon Alliance, where the head of the ancestor is located. The neck. Co Huiol seems to muse over Gurion's words for a moment before sitting back down with a smile. After a while, we enter the True Dragon Alliance headquarters, the Serving Command Arc. Kagugugu, the square mountain. No, one of the upper parts of the Serving Command Arc, as Gurion calls it, opens to welcome us. Now, since the True Dragon Alliance is the center of the Earth Tribe territory, many envoys from various Earth Tribes have come. Everyone should find the envoys of their respective races and head to their corresponding territory. CHK. Upon entering the Serving Command Arc, Gurion lands inside and transforms. Her form changes, and soon she appears as a woman wearing a casual brown robe. Her hair is long, reaching down to her waist, but seems unkempt overall, and small golden antlers protrude from her forehead. Her cheeks and arms are adorned with deliberately exposed yellow-brown scales. First, you, the Sea Dragon race, and there, the human, follow me. You need to register your names in the Dragon Registry of the True Dragon Alliance, so I'll guide you. Yes, thank you. Gurion, like ghosts leading the human race in my past life. Explain about the True Dragon Alliance to me, Co Huiol, and the elders of the Sea Dragon race. Our Earth Tribe is, as you might know, a collection of numerous demon beast races. Though we talk about demon beasts and Earth Tribes, in truth, aside from the dragon race and a few other species, they are all different races. To lead these countless other races, the dragon race born with immortal beast lineage, and a few other superior large races have come together to govern the entire Earth Tribe. These large races have formed a single alliance to govern everything, which is our True Dragon Alliance. She continues with pride. And as you might have guessed from the name of the True Dragon Alliance, the strongest voice within the alliance belongs to our dragon race, which possesses particularly powerful strength among the large races. Therefore, the name of the alliance was chosen as the True Dragon Alliance, and the headquarters of the alliance was also built in the central area of our dragon race's territory. In short, our dragon race is no different from the highest ruling class of the Earth Tribe. Act with pride. We will keep that in mind. Gurion, seemingly pleased with Co Huiol's attitude, cheerfully pats his shoulder and continues forward. The inside of Serving Command Arc is vast enough to be considered another world in its own right. Is that the sky? I am astonished at the clouds floating inside Serving Command Arc and the mountain ranges within. This is incomparable even to space artifacts like the Serving Command Palace. Rather, it seems right to call it a world of its own. Following Gurion, we swiftly cross numerous mountain ranges and landscapes, feeling her 4-axis stage power compressing space. Despite merely walking, space is being compressed. Shrinking Earth Technique. A formidable technique that only those at the late stages of the 4-axis stage or beyond can utilize. I observe the flow of the Shrinking Earth Technique, trying to grasp the enlightenment of the 4-axis stage. After a while, inside the Serving Command Arc, while it isn't as vast as the corpse of the dragon ancestor that is as large as the entire human race territory we had seen earlier, we arrive at a place filled with bones of dragons, resembling mountain ranges, on the level of the Black Dragon King, Hein Eum. It appears as if white mountains are scattered everywhere. Come here. This is the tomb of the Dragon Kings and the homeland of our dragon race, the Dragon King Mausoleum. Here, you can receive your identity plaques. We arrive at the center of the Dragon King Mausoleum. There, the skulls of Dragon Kings are gathered in abundance. Even the skulls alone are as massive as mountains. Gurion points at the skulls, saying, Now, engrave your names on the skulls of past Dragon Kings. Carving your names into the minds of our ancestors in this way is a ceremony to announce to them that you have become part of the dragon race of the bright cold realm. All members of the Sea Dragon race came out from Co Huiol's storage artifact and engraved their names on the skulls of Dragon Kings. As they did so, a radiant light flowed from the skulls of the Dragon Kings, entering the bodies of those who had engraved their names, leaving peculiar patterns on the bodies of the dragon race members. From now on, that pattern will serve as your identity plaque. Depending on each individual's qualities and characteristics, you would have received different patterns in different locations. I can't show you, but I have a pattern on my hip. When you infuse chi into the pattern, boom, a faint dragon-shaped aura seems to flow from Gurian's body, sweeping over her once. This illusion proving you're of the dragon race appears. From now on, you can prove your identity this way. Remember everyone, and for the human, you. She says, looking at Xiao Huiol. It's not possible to include a member of the human race in the dragon registry of the dragon race. It's only possible for a member of the human race to be included in the dragon registry if they have been infused with the immortal beast true blood, and their own blood has been covered by the true blood by more than 70%. If you wish to accept a member of the human race as part of the dragon race under other circumstances, you must create an identity plaque for them using a part of the recommender's body. That won't be difficult. Womb. Xiao Huiol reveals his arm, and blue scales sprout all over it. He plucks one of the scales. The scale he pulls from his arm floats in the air and enlarges to the size of a palm. Pats. With a flick of Xiao Huiol's hand, the scale is processed in midair, and an identity plaque with my name inscribed on it is created. Here, take this. This identity plaque, made from my scale, will preserve your status in the Earth Tribe territory. Thank you for your kindness. I thank Xiao Huiol, feeling something odd. All the other sea dragons are registering their names in something called the Dragon Registry, and I've received an identity plaque, but why don't I see Oh Hi Xiao? I ponder Xiao Huiol's intentions. Why isn't he creating an identity plaque for Oh Hi Xiao now? Though I wonder, there is no way to know right now. Thus, we all acquired the means to prove our identities. Afterward, we leave the serving command arc, and under the guidance of Gurian, we are introduced to the living space for the sea dragon race. It's a large lake near the front paws of the dragon ancestor. Of course, it's called a lake, but in reality, its size is no different from the seas of the head realm. The lake is connected to the rivers known as the blood veins of the dragon ancestor, with black and white waters mixing, creating a five-colored mist. Due to the mixing of black and white waters, the lake itself is not black and white, but transparent. The surrounding area is covered in an enormous density of heaven and earth spiritual energy. The five elements' spiritual energy is densely spread around the area. Training here, I will be able to quickly regain my past life's cultivation. There are quite a few water attribute demon beasts living under this Cloudheart Lake. But you, the sea dragon race, should be able to subdue and take over, right? There will be no issues. Good. Then I hope you live well under the lake from now on. I'll be going now. If you have any questions, you can come and find me. Thank you very much for everything so far. We will surely seek your teachings in the bright cold realm in the future. When Xiao Huiol smiles and bows to Gurian, her cheeks flush with color. I'll be going now. She coughs a few times as if to clear her throat, hastily bids farewell to Xiao Huiol, and transforms back into her dragon form to fly away into the distance. As soon as Gurian is out of sight, Xiao Huiol turns to the elders of the sea dragon race and asks, "How long do you think it will take to take over this Cloudheart Lake? How long does the council think it will take?" Responding to Xiao Huiol's question, one of the older-looking elders of the sea dragon race bows and replies, "With our power, we can establish a larger sea dragon palace under Cloudheart Lake within 3 days and demand tribute from the surrounding races. If Lord Xiao Huiol assists, it will not even take 3 days, but 2. I see. However, we need to discuss the protocol and titles among the sea dragon race again. I cannot casually use the title of Dragon King in the bright cold realm. King. No. If it's Sir Xiao Huiol, you will surely reach the integration stage and officially reclaim the title of King. Thank you for the encouragement. Then, I'll wait for 3 days, so please take care of everything. I have some matters to attend to at the True Dragon Alliance headquarters. Leave it to us." After finishing their conversation, the elders of the sea dragon race transform into dragons and dive into Cloudheart Lake. Shortly after, Kagugugu, the waters of Cloudheart Lake boil tumultuously. A significant battle seems to be taking place beneath the lake. Now then, you should follow me now. Yes. I said I would recommend you for participation in the Immortal Beast Blood Fusion if you followed me. I'll keep my promise. May I know what this Immortal Beast Blood Fusion is? Haha. You followed me without even knowing what the Immortal Beast Blood Fusion is. Damn. I clench my teeth internally. Suspicion blooms once again in Xiao Huiol's mind. Although there isn't much suspicion, if it continues to accumulate like this, I will inevitably be betrayed by him. More than the blood fusion, I trusted and followed Sir Xiao Huiol's reputation. Is that so? This is quite embarrassing. We both laugh openly, while behind our smiles, we are sharpening knives against each other. I'll explain on the way. Follow me. I climb onto Co Huiol's back as he transforms into his true form and heads towards serving command arc, listening to his explanation. The Immortal Beast Blood Fusion is a competition held once every 100 years, gathering young demon beast prodigies to compete for the true blood of immortal beasts. Winners of the Immortal Beast Blood Fusion receive a drop of their desired true blood, which they incorporate into their own blood, acquiring superior demon beast qualities. Originally, non-Earth tribes, like the Heaven tribe, are not allowed to participate in the Immortal Beast Blood Fusion, but with the recommendation of a 4-axis stage demon beast, participation is possible. The true blood of immortal beasts. As I think about the existence of immortal beasts, before long, Co Huiol arrives inside, serving command arc again. Within the arc, Co Huiol lands in front of a massive stone building, transforms back into human form, and goes inside to handle some business, leaving me behind. The building looks to handle various administrative tasks for the demon races, and as soon as Co Huiol disappears from sight, I turn around. First, let's forget about ridiculous things like summoning wind, dragon transformation, or summoning wind, true blood transformation. Below the mountain where the stone building is erected, there is a large market that seems to be a marketplace for demon beasts, where numerous demon races are trading goods. For now, I'll find some proper demon beast methods. Tut. Using the record of transcending cultivation and exhausting martial arts, I enter the demon market without anyone noticing. Chapter 182, The Tribe of the Earth, 2. Wawoom. A hot breeze sweeps through the surroundings. True Dragon Alliance's serving command Ark's demon race market. There, numerous members of the demon race are gathered, exchanging goods, and many of them wander around in their true forms, emitting intense heat, filling the area near the market with a sweltering warmth. Finding demon beasts transformed into human form is difficult. After all, it isn't the land of the Heaven tribe or the human race, so there's no need to maintain a transformed shape. Only occasionally did the demon races of immense size transform due to their large size. Come, this elixir has been personally delivered from the Heaven tribe. How many blood refining methods have been developed to fuse immortal beast true blood into the body? Our blood refining method is of a different caliber compared to those developed so far. We'll auction off the space Dharma treasure obtained from subduing the Bright Crow race last time. The voices of the demons are loud, each straining not to be drowned out by the others. However, since the demon race communicates by vibrating spiritual energy to speak, if a member of the human race, who does not possess the Earth tribe's vision, are to listen, the market would seem quite quiet as the spiritual energy only slightly fluctuates. The market of the demon race isn't much different from that of humans. In some ways, it even seems much more orderly than that of humans. I briefly tour the market, observing the reactions of the surrounding demons while looking for a place selling method manuals. After a while, I enter a street where demon beast methods are sold. So many. There's a separate street for selling demon beast methods, indicating an overwhelming abundance of them. Unlike human cultivation methods recorded in books or jade slips, most of the demon beast methods are recorded on bones, skins, or teeth. Is it because of the characteristics of the demon language, or is the recording method itself different? Demon script fundamentally records the flow of yin and yang within the spiritual energy of heaven and earth to communicate meanings. Thus, their linguistic system is entirely different from that of the human race. Therefore, the method of recording also involves engraving the flow of yin and yang onto bones or stones imbued with spiritual essence, so that when spiritual energy is infused into the bone later, the engraved flow vibrates the spiritual energy, conveying the content. Perhaps that's why the majority of demon races went around with methods engraved on their bodies or bones. Among these demon races, a significant number came to the street selling demon beast methods, tearing off parts of their bodies that contain the methods to sell and leave. Crackling. Quahaha. This horn of mine contains the horned ox black origin transformation of our horned ox race. How much will you offer? I've never even heard of the horned ox race. What? Are you insulting my race now? No, that's not it. Don't get angry. Will this amount satisfy you? Watching a large, bipedal black ox, identifying as a member of the horned ox race, snorting as it hands its horn to a demon race merchant for spirit stones in exchange, makes me quite shocked by the culture. After securing the spirit stones, the bipedal black ox snorts and leaves for another place. With a few steps, a new horn begins to grow where the old one had been, indicating that for demons at the core formation stage or higher, such regeneration is entirely possible. The flounder demon merchant giggles as he takes the ox's horn, clearly pleased. Recently, among the mercenary races, the horned ox race has been gaining tremendous popularity. A method from such a race will surely sell for a high price. I manipulate you covering my body with blood body skin armor to sprout scales on my cheek and grow red deer antlers on my forehead. I then deactivate the record of transcending cultivation and exhausting martial arts in front of him. Look here, I've just ascended to the bright cold realm, and it's my first time at the Earth Tribe market. So I have a question to ask. Wawoom. As I let the energy of my inner core flow out with dragon-shaped consciousness, the flounder merchant is startled and stands up. My goodness, what brings a noble dragon to such a place? As I said, I've only recently ascended to the bright cold realm. I have some questions. Yes, ask away. First off, is it common for demons to come here selling demon beast methods like just now? Of course. Well, in truth, those demon beast methods sold by such demons are actually one of the main specialties of our Earth Tribe. The flounder merchant continues his explanation. As you may know, our Earth Tribe is essentially grouped together due to our vision, but we are all different races. It's well known that the majority of the Earth Tribe originally roamed the fields and mountains as beasts. Hence, the classification is practically impossible to count. But, precisely because of that, there's an enormous variety of Earth Tribe methods. What do you mean? What do I mean? The flounder merchant looks at me as if he didn't understand my question, his eyes almost questioning why I couldn't understand such a simple matter. The environment in the lower realm where I lived is too different from the bright cold realm. I make up a suitable excuse about the lower realm, and the flounder merchant nods. Right, you mentioned you've just ascended. Well, there are countless lower realms, so that makes sense. To explain the situation of the Earth Tribe in the bright cold realm to a distinguished dragon like yourself, our Earth Tribe methods are practically not standardized, except for the dragon race or the phoenix race you belong to, right? Right? I don't know much, but agree, fearing that any further ignorance on my part might lead to more suspicion. Well, I can guess as much. Earth Tribe, or essentially the demon race. Unlike the Heaven Tribe, which passes down and progressively develops methods for future generations, most demon races were once wild beasts roaming the fields, unable to inherit methods from their ancestors. Therefore, demon races accumulating power essentially had to create their methods individually as they grew, so it made sense that there are no standardized methods. Yes, as you know, we demon races must create our own suitable methods relying on our instincts from the day we awaken our spiritual nature and gain intelligence. Because of this, the methods created by each race and individual vary greatly. Such demon beast methods are created by countless demon races relying on their instincts and their bodies. That's why there are so many demons who carve the flow of spiritual energy into their bodies and sell parts of those engraved bodies like this. I see. There seems to be a reason why demons engrave methods into their bodies. And such a diverse market of demon beast methods provides an opportunity for many other demons who have awakened intelligence to look for methods that suit them. If there are sellers, there are also buyers. For example, if someone creates a method according to instinct, but it turns out to be poor, they can come to the method market to buy one that suits them better. And, of course, many from the Heaven Tribe also desire our demon beast methods. The flounder merchant chuckles and scratches his head. Those from the Heaven Tribe who wish to study our demon beast methods always come here to buy these method manuals in bulk at regular intervals. That's why this demon beast method market is so vibrant. I'm not sure what the lower realm you came from is like, but it seems they didn't have such a system. Indeed, it's a unique system of the bright cold realm. After asking the flounder merchant a few more questions about the Earth Tribe, I hand over some spirit stones I brought from the lower realm. The Earth Tribe market is ultimately related to the characteristics of the Earth Tribe itself. As you learn a method, the flow of spiritual energy leaves traces throughout the body according to the characteristics of the method. A market for demon beast methods where parts of the body with these traces of flow are sold. That is the unique characteristic of the Earth Tribe. After looking around the flounder merchant's shop, I visited other shops. While wandering through the shops, I realized that there were some manuals commonly sold in several places. Look here, I've seen this manual quite often in other shops too. What kind of manual is this? I've only recently ascended, so could you explain it to me? Fortunately, when I ask merchants while imitating the appearance of the dragon race, they are more than willing to explain as if it's an honor. You are an ascended dragonkin, I see. These methods are the most fundamental among the demon beast methods of the bright cold realm. They can be considered basic methods. The merchant, who looks like a muscle but bizarrely with limbs, lifts a small spirit stone and continues the explanation. While countless demons each have their unique methods, we all share some common ground as demon races. These commonalities have been compiled to create what can be considered the basics of basics among demon beast methods. What's its name? It's called the Vast Cold Formula. Vast Cold Formula. I purchased the Vast Cold Formula and tuck it away. After buying the basic demon beast method and a couple of other methods that seem suitable, I head back up to the stone building where Seo Huiol is located. It seems Seo Huil hasn't come out yet. It seems he has a lot of work to deal with inside. As I wait for Seo Huil, several hours pass. When the spiritual energy of heaven and earth revolves, indicating the evening, Seo Huil comes out of the stone building. Have you been waiting long? Weren't you bored? How could I be bored waiting for you, Sir Seo Huil? Moreover, in cultivation, patience is a virtue. Good words. Have you been practicing the summoning wind, true blood transformation I gave you? Yes, I have. Haha, I see. Seo Huil smiles and pats my shoulder. However, at that moment, I suddenly feel Seo Huil's suspicion skyrocket. But I didn't do anything. Why is he suddenly suspicious? This person, who doesn't even possess the vision of beyond the path, couldn't possibly see through me. But Seo Huil, though cunning, is a rational being. There's no way he would suddenly suspect me like that without any reason. There must be some grounds for it. I used the record of transcending cultivation and exhausting martial arts to ensure he wouldn't have noticed me leaving and returning. Furthermore, I left a gang sphere clone secretly, so even if Seo Huil occasionally checked with his consciousness, he wouldn't be able to tell. But why so suddenly? Since today's tasks have been largely satisfactorily handled, let's return. By now, even if Cloudheart Lake hasn't been conquered, our race's elders must have built a new sea dragon palace there. Yes, I understand. Swoosh. Seo Huil transforms back into his true form and carries me on his neck. As I hang onto Seo Huil's neck flying, I think to myself, should I now, even by burning my true origin energy, draw the formless sword and cut this guy's neck? His suspicion towards me has enormously spiked. Perhaps killing him right now and escaping might be better in the long run. That's when he speaks. And while I was handling tasks at the True Dragon Alliance's office, I heard some interesting information. It's about a plan that will soon be implemented across the entire Earth tribe. Is it all right for me to hear about it? No problem. It's not that big of a secret. The entire Earth tribe naming project. In the future, the True Dragon Alliance, like the human race Grand Alliance's system of compiling a register of the living and dead among humans, plans to name every member of the Earth tribe and manage those names. Names, you say? I'm taken aback by the sudden change of topic. Why bring up names out of nowhere? Names partly contain fate. Our Earth tribe doesn't have the Heaven tribe's ability to read the fate of the heavens. That's why we've always been behind in the information war against the Heaven tribe, and the influence of the Earth tribe has been significantly reduced recently. As such, the True Dragon Alliance plans to manage the names of all Earth tribe members and give names to those without. It's a grand initiative. But if I may ask, what's the use of that? If you don't understand fate, it might be a bit difficult to grasp by managing the names of all Earth tribe members. The True Dragon Alliance's Supreme Council decided it's possible to indirectly read the power of fate contained within those names, thereby predicting the overall fate of the Earth tribe. Why are you telling me this decision? Simple. In the future, every race within the Earth tribe will dispatch 1 or 2 individuals for their own management to participate in the entire Earth tribe naming project. I'm thinking, from our Sea Dragon race, we'll dispatch you among others. Thank you for granting me such an opportunity. What exactly is he planning? I frown inwardly. By the time we arrived at Cloudheart Lake, the sun had set. Seo Huil and I enter the newly constructed Sea Dragon Palace beneath the lake. Let's discuss the details tomorrow. For today, rest well. I enter the room assigned to me and sit down. What should I do? What is Seo Huil scheming? As I ponder this, I inadvertently look at the identity plaque Seo Huil had given me. Why is intent infused in the identity plaque? I feel a chill down my spine as I examine it. And then I realize a horrifying truth. Damn it. During my time at the market today, I had been constantly monitored by Seo Huil. Translator notes. Well, buy me a coffee didn't work out. All the donations are going to be returned within 30 days regardless of my or the donator's intentions. Chapter 183, The Tribe of the Earth, 3. Crack. I clench my teeth tightly, pulling my senses even higher in case I saw it wrong. The vision of beyond the path, added to that of the demon race. Using enlightenment that transcends planes, I look at the identity plaque. I wonder how clearly I observe the identity plaque. SHHHH. It's visible. This time, I can clearly see it. The flow of spiritual energy connected to the identity plaque, emanating an aura like that of consciousness waves, leads somewhere. And the end of that connection is unmistakably Seo Huil. Damn it. Only after observing for a while do I grasp the principle of this location tracking plaque. The Earth tribe methods have its flow recorded on their bodies. Thus, even if a part of the body that has been imprinted with the method falls off, it is still affected by the demon beast method. Utilizing this principle, it's possible to continuously monitor an identity plaque that's far from oneself. I investigate the identity plaque further, teeth still clenched. Fortunately, from the flow of spiritual energy, it seems that only my location is being monitored. But I can't be at ease. especially not within this Sea Dragon Palace. Within the room of the Sea Dragon Palace, decorated similarly to human lodgings. Even though it wasn't directly built by Seo Huiol, but through the Sea Dragon race elders, I can't trust it. There's a high probability that this room I entered has been tampered with to monitor me in real time. Holding the identity plaque, I lie down on the bed comfortably, forcing my expression to relax to avoid detection. The first priority is to regain my cultivation. I organize my thoughts with a calm expression. Even if I decide to confront Seo Huiol in a life-or-death struggle, it will be impossible without intending to burn all my true origin energy right now. Regaining my cultivation as soon as possible and gaining some strength seems necessary for ensuring safety while living with Seo Huiol. Closing my eyes, I gently operate the intricacies of the wonderfully mysterious heart cannon, extending my consciousness like threads to secretly survey the surroundings. After investigating every corner of the room with my consciousness threads, I realize faint spiritual veins are detectable in various places. These spiritual veins are recording changes occurring within the room and transmitting them somewhere. As suspected, I am being monitored. In this state, it's impossible to recover my cultivation. All the methods I have learned would be performed under the watchful eyes of Seo Huiol or the Sea Dragon race elders. Then, I must act now. It seems I have to be prepared to burn at least some of my true origin energy to escape this situation. Where pure life force travels through the threads of the wonderfully mysterious innate heart cannon throughout the room. Since each thread of consciousness is applied with the record of transcending cultivation and exhausting martial arts, this act will not be detected. The life force-enriched, wonderfully mysterious innate heart cannon begins to adhere to the spiritual veins observing my room, starting to engrave circuits according to my will. Infiltrate them in reverse. Where the circuits engrave themselves throughout the spiritual veins, controlled by my will. These circuits then alter the recording of the room's situation, transmitting a different narrative. Someone receiving the information through spiritual energy will likely see a scene of me peacefully sleeping in the room. After engraving the circuits to gain freedom of action and once more searching the room with the wonderfully mysterious innate heart cannon, I finally feel at ease and stand up from my place. Honestly, I want to engrave the Mad Lord's circuits into this identity plaque right away. This identity plaque, made from Seo Huiol's scales, is highly likely to be directly connected to Seo Huiol. The materials of this room are unrelated to the dragon race, so it was fine, but tampering with the scales is still dangerous. The good news is that the scales only have a location tracking feature attached to them, making it impossible to monitor what I'm doing in real time. I place the identity plaque in a suitable place within the room. Then, sitting down, I begin to inhale spiritual energy. Although I burned some life force, I've gained freedom within the Sea Dragon Palace, so it's worth it. Now, shall I start cultivating? TSS. I open my mouth and take out the colorless glass swords that are within me. Klalik. My room assigned in the Dragon Palace is quite spacious, so having 3,000 glass swords floating around is no problem. While keeping the swords afloat with sword control, I focus my consciousness and open my mouth. Canvas of myriad forms and connections. Pod. Simultaneously, the glass swords emit light and exude artifact spirits. In an instant, the room is filled with hazy artifact spirits. But due to not enough space, the artifact spirits begin to overlap and shine within the room. But from my perspective, it's rather convenient. Until now, I only stored my cultivation in the canvas of myriad forms and connections. From that standpoint, it was convenient for the artifact spirits to be divided into minute details. On the other hand, if I want to retrieve the cultivation stored in the canvas of myriad forms and connections, merge. SSSSS. The artifact spirits, one by one, become luminous clusters and overlap. In front of me, countless artifact spirits gather to form one silhouette. The face of the silhouette changes constantly. Everyone I had encountered, good connections, bad connections, loved ones, hated ones, trusted ones, respected ones. The faces of those tremendous connections swirl on the face of the silhouette until, at one moment, when all the artifact spirits are merged, the silhouette finally takes on a proper form. It's me. SSSSS. A man wearing pure white robes. The artifact spirit looking exactly like me opens its eyes. I lock eyes with my artifact spirit. The vision split. The artifact spirit's vision and my vision. Since the canvas of myriad forms and connections was created by merging the three spirits technique and the Devil Legion terracotta scroll, creating another clone like in the case of the three spirits technique is possible. I stretch my arms towards me. As the two me's reach out and touch hands, the vision of the artifact spirit me is absorbed back into my view. When I come to my senses, the artifact spirit has been absorbed into my body. No, to be precise, it overlapped. Wawoom. Indeed. In the overlapped state with the artifact spirit, I feel the power stored within the artifact spirit. It's an immense power. With time, by carefully transferring the power residing in the artifact spirit to my body, I will recover all the realms of the nascent soul within 10 years. SSSSS. I close my eyes and continue the process of recovering my cultivation through the canvas of myriad forms and connections throughout the night. The next day, I was called by Sio Huiol. Inside his room, Sio Huiol was observing the duties of the dragon race from his room, where a strange flow of spiritual energy was present. What's this flow of spiritual energy? Observing the flow of spiritual energy, my head feels clearer, giving me a refreshing feeling. It seems to be some kind of technique that awakens the mind. While I am basking in the spiritual energy, Sio Huiol, with a smiling face, asks me, "Was your night in the Sea Dragon Palace peaceful?" Thanks to Sir Sio Huiol's care, I spent a peaceful night. That's good to hear. I'll keep looking out for you. However, contrary to his words, his mind is quite sensitive due to the doubts that had grown since yesterday. His eyes appear to be smiling, but upon closer inspection, I can feel him observing me closely. By the way, I heard that the Immortal Beast Blood Fusion is opening in 6 months. Most of the participants in the Immortal Beast Blood Fusion are nascent soul stage demon race members, so it might be too much for you to participate in just 6 months, right? 6 months later, I heard that the Immortal Beast Blood Fusion is held once every 100 years. If I miss this chance, the next opportunity won't come until 100 years later. But I decide to be cautious. Do I really need this Immortal Beast Blood Fusion? Having Immortal Beast True Blood makes it incredibly convenient to enter the Demon Race Society. But the problem is why Sio Huiol will send me to the Immortal Beast Blood Fusion without any reason. There's a 90% chance he has ulterior motives. Participating in a competition with nascent soul stage demon beasts without any cultivation in just 6 months? It's highly suspicious. However, there is a problem. A true immortal will descend in 100 years and sweep away the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder Sect. My goal is to steal the Heavenly Lightning Banner from the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder Sect and place it in the storage scroll of Sio Huiol or Hien or other dragons with schemes within 100 years. But to do that, I need to deeply infiltrate the Dragon Race Society within 100 years. After much consideration, I respond. May I know how the Immortal Beast Blood Fusion competition is conducted? It's simple. In the lowest layer of the Serving Command Ark's testing area, selected demon beasts will compete for survival. The last 100 survivors will each have a chance to receive Immortal Beast True Blood. Sounds simple. It won't be that simple. The testing area of the Serving Command Ark is quite harsh. After a moment of thought, I told Sio Huiol, I will participate. Oh, a hint of doubt appears in Sio Huiol's eyes. But I decide to endure this much. After all, Sio Huiol will continue to doubt me even if I just breathe and eat. In fact, if I consider my actions from a third-party perspective, they are quite suspicious. Since I've already been marked as a suspicious person, I decided to push forward with that suspicious image. Good. After all, you're part of our Sea Dragon race, so it would be an honor for a talent from our race to be granted Immortal Beast True Blood. He smiles warmly and amiably. But do you have a way to reach the nascent soul stage in 6 months? Can those who are not at the nascent soul stage not participate? It's not exactly like that. It's just that those who are not at the nascent soul stage tend to die before the Immortal Beast Blood Fusion ends due to the harshness of the test ground. Then it's fine. I am confident I can survive. Well, if that's the case. Sio Huiol smiles slightly, takes out a piece of silk, writes a recommendation letter in demon script, folds the silk, and sends it somewhere with a spell. I've sent the recommendation letter to the organizers of the Immortal Beast Blood Fusion. You'll be able to participate in the future. Thank you. No need for thanks. Is there anything you find inconvenient or need? I ponder for a moment, thinking, maybe it wouldn't be bad to directly ask about Deputy Ohiasio. Well, considering Sio Huiol's character, he's probably treating her well. Although I don't have high hopes, there is still a possibility he might easily talk about it. So I clung to the sliver of hope and was about to ask him. Just then, wait a moment. I feel chills running down my back, but quickly suppress any physical reaction through my control. Since entering Sio Huiol's room, I felt a peculiar flow of spiritual energy that seemed to clear the mind. I casually thought it was some kind of spell that clears the mind, and let it be. However, as I internally operate the wonderfully mysterious innate heart cannon and utilize the heart essence in the realm of treading heavens, observing my consciousness, I immediately realize something is wrong when my consciousness starts to feel odd. This bastard, he's brainwashing me. Indeed. From the moment I entered the room, the peculiar effect of mental awakening I felt is not actually an awakening effect at all, nor is it simply clearing my mind. It's a brainwashing operation centered around Sio Huiol, designed to make one feel in endless affection towards him. I have been under brainwashing since I entered the room. He is the core and caster of this spell. Every word Xiao Huiol utters, every gentle expression he makes, is part of the brainwashing. Despite feeling chills all over my body, I suppress my physical reactions. If it were anyone else, they would have been brainwashed by Xiao Huiol without even realizing it. Only now did I realize I was being brainwashed, despite having a consciousness at the nascent soul stage, enlightenment in the treading heaven realm, and specialized in the wonderfully mysterious innate heart canon focused on consciousness. Even cultivators at the heavenly being stage would fail to suspect and investigate Xiao Huiol from the start, not realizing they had been brainwashed. Is there anything else you need? Xiao Huiol asks me again. I compose my emotions and smile brightly, nodding. Your grace is as vast as the sea, Sir Xiao Huiol. However, I'm curious about what has become of Xiao, who was originally my colleague. The purpose of this brainwashing is to harbor affection for Xiao Huiol and not to doubt him. It's not strange for me to inquire about the welfare of a colleague. And to my question, Xiao Huiol warmly smiles and answers. Of course, she is doing very well. However, as I mentioned before, she has accepted my true blood, becoming part of our sea dragon race, and is currently practicing a great method to accept my true blood within the inner sanctum of the sea dragon palace. Since it's a method that requires stabilization, even if you wish to see her, I'd ask you to wait a bit longer. I see. Thank you for your answer. He's lying. Yuan Li was also someone who had assimilated Xiao Huiol's blood, and I had forced him to reveal the method of assimilating Xiao Huiol's blood through torture. From his confession, there was no such process as needing to stabilize. If I participate in the Immortal Beast blood fusion and receive the Immortal Beast true blood, will I also need to stabilize like Xiao? Haha, of course. If you are entrusted with the honorable mission of receiving the Immortal Beast true blood in the Immortal Beast blood fusion, I will personally bring you and assist you in assimilating the Immortal Beast true blood. I will also lend you the assimilation chamber she is using to assimilate the true blood this time. Thank you for your gracious words. Listening to Xiao Huiol, I'm certain. Xiao Huiol is spouting nonsense, and I have no idea what's happening to Xiao right now. Is there anything else you're curious about? If I were to say I want to see Xiao now, Xiao Huiol will certainly refuse, using her need for stability as an excuse. He's probably continuously observing whether the brainwashing is taking effect on me. It's best not to ask any more questions that can provoke him. There's nothing more I'm curious about. If you may permit, I'll go and continue my cultivation to prepare for the Immortal Beast blood fusion. Understood. Go ahead. Oh, and do you have any human cultivation methods you're practicing? Yes, I do. Then, if you wish to conduct a ritual later, go see the Sea Dragon Race Elder John Rul. He has a lot of interest in human rituals and will kindly set one up for you. Thank you. After bidding farewell to Xiao Huiol, I leave his room. Even as I exit his room, I don't sigh or relax until I return straight to my own room. I could see the flow of spiritual energy leading to Xiao Huiol's room throughout the Sea Dragon Palace. The same flow that is set up in my room. Xiao Huiol is monitoring everything within the Dragon Palace in real time. Unless it's someone like me who has the vision of intent and vision of spiritual energy, along with the enlightenment of planes, the Dragon Race members wouldn't have noticed. Upon entering my room, which had been pre-equipped with circuits, I finally relax and sit down. Really, it's hard to even breathe in this Sea Dragon Palace. Given that Xiao Huiol's eyes are everywhere, I have to assume I am being monitored at all times. I'll be living here in the future. Can I just endure being subjected to this? Well, last night, through the canvas of myriad forms and connections, I regained the cultivation of Qi refining 7th star. The reason I couldn't surpass the 7th star is that the 7th star requires a ritual, so I was stopped merely due to procedural reasons. My spiritual power is sufficient. Well, I touched the surveillance spiritual vein Xiao Huiol laid in my room and infused my own spiritual power into the spiritual veins. You must have thought everything in the Dragon Palace dances to your tune, you snake bastard. TSS. I reversed the flow in Xiao Huiol's spiritual veins, installing the Mad Lord circuits. Beyond the spiritual veins, the circuits of madness spreads, and the circuits that were only in my room begin to invade other areas. Since I blocked the information with the record of transcending cultivation and exhausting martial arts, no information should reach Xiao Huiol. From today, the Sea Dragon Palace falls to my grasp. Xiao Huiol must have thought he could control me by accepting me. However, that is a mistake. I am poison. A poison that had been fermented, aged, and completely rotted over for more than 2,000 years. Now that this poison has entered the heart of the dragon race, it will poison everything. TSS. If you have no intention of showing me what's happening to Xiao and are full of plans to brainwash me, I think as I cover the entire Sea Dragon Palace with the Mad Lord circuits. I'll take control of the Dragon Palace myself and find out directly. Thanks for laying down such a technique throughout your palace, making it easy for me. Now, I'll make good use of it. 6 months pass quickly. I regain my late-stage Qi building cultivation, and in a year or two, I will be able to recover to the core formation stage. During that time, by exerting power, I was able to seize control of Xiao Huiol's eyes spread throughout the Dragon Palace. As a result of monitoring the Dragon Palace using Xiao Huiol's eyes, I still haven't found Oh Xiao. The claim that Oh Xiao was inside the Dragon Palace was a lie from the start. Damn it. I grit my teeth as I open my eyes in the room. The time for the immortal beast blood fusion is here. I finish preparing and leave the Sea Dragon Palace. Emerging from the Sea Dragon Palace located at the bottom of Cloudheart Lake, I see the barrier enveloping the Sea Dragon Palace and the waters of Cloudheart Lake beyond it. Both within and outside, sea dragons are walking or swimming. However, as I pass by, the sea dragons murmur and show signs of avoiding me. From what I can gather, it seems they generally don't like me, a human. That human, he's participating in the immortal beast blood fusion this time. Sir Xiao Huiol wrote him a recommendation letter. Why would Sir do that for someone like him? Even if he has exceptional consciousness, isn't that too much of a privilege? I calmly ignore their words and wait at the edge of the barrier. After a while, Xiao Huiol swims down in his true form. Have you been waiting long? Not at all. First, climb onto my neck. Let everyone hear. All participants in the immortal beast blood fusion will fly following me. Following Xiao Huiol's words, young nascent soul and core formation stage sea dragons fly after him. I cling to Xiao Huiol's neck and we fly across the lake towards the serving command arc. While I am clinging to him, Xiao Huiol begins comforting me with a warm voice. Recently, there's been a lot of gossip among our sea dragon race about you. It seems many are displeased with the privileges given to you, not being of the dragon race. It seems so. First, as a representative of the sea dragon race, I apologize. It was me who accepted you into the sea dragon race, and I'm sorry for not taking better care of you. Regardless of what they say, don't mind them. I've become a major figure in the True Dragon Alliance recently, and even before ascending, I was a king trusted by the sea dragon race. Since I personally noticed your qualities and brought you here, you just need to walk your own path. Thank you for your kind words. Had Azure Tiger Saint said this, I would have been moved enough to bow in respect. However, the heart essence behind Xiao Huiol's eloquent words are filled with dark malice. It's a refreshing feeling, contrary to that time with Yanghua. Her, who harshly told me to forget her while secretly harboring love for me, and Xiao Huiol, who outwardly speaks kindly and trustingly, while inwardly schemes on how to use me and doubts me. It's extremely polarizing, but so extreme that it feels refreshingly new. Considering Xiao Ran's case, those murmuring of the sea dragons must be instigated by him. Even though I seized control of Xiao Huiol's eyes within the Sea Dragon Palace. From the day I joined Xiao Huiol, I never let my guard down for a moment. Though constraints on my actions have loosened a bit, Xiao Huiol knows all too well how to restrict a person's actions without using spells or sorcery. Even without being brainwashed or monitored, Xiao Huiol's significant words kept me immobilized in the Dragon Palace all this time. He's adept at rendering people utterly immobile with psychological manipulation. The more I stay with Xiao Huiol, the more I feel suffocated, as if my throat is being constricted. It feels like I am surrounded, with only the path Xiao Huiol offers seeming somewhat open. This isn't just once or twice, but always. However, what Xiao Huiol offers is always a trap. For someone like me, who has lived for over 2,000 years, there's room to breathe, at least. Then, where exactly is Oh Xiao? While concerned for Oh Xiao, I enter the depths of serving command arc with Xiao Huiol. Where could she be? Captured and brainwashed by Xiao Huiol. Feeling that the goals I set in this life are not going to be easy, I follow Xiao Huiol to the lowest level of serving command arc. We reach the battleground where the immortal beast blood fusion is to be held. It's time for the immortal beast blood fusion to begin. Translator notes. Donated chapter by Dragging 105. Thanks for the support. Chapter 184, The Tribe of the Earth 4. It's dark. Xiao Huiol and I arrived at the lowest level of serving command arc. A place so cold and dark it chills to the bone. This is the last of the 7 floors of Serving Command Arkansas. Similar to Serving Command Palace, Serving Command Arc itself also comprises a total of 7 floors. The topmost 7th floor, the Life Floor, is where Xiao Huiol conducts administrative tasks, meetings of the True Dragon Alliance take place, and where the demon race's market and social gatherings mainly occur. The 6th floor, the Cultivation Floor, is rich in spiritual veins and spiritual energy, provided for the later stage Earth Tribe cultivators and elders. The 5th floor, the the harvest floor, is the most appropriate and safest refuge for Earth Tribe members to face heavenly tribulation before crossing the cultivation threshold. The fourth floor, the death floor, is where the corpses of deceased Earth Tribe members gather. The third floor, the earth floor, is the power room of serving command arc and the source of spiritual energy flowing throughout the arc. The second floor, the storage floor, serves as a storage space below the power room, currently used as a treasure vault by the Earth Tribe. And the lowest level of serving command arc, where the immortal beast blood fusion takes place. The first floor, the emptiness floor. As I reached the emptiness floor, I felt as if all the spiritual energy in my body was freezing over. Is this the coldness of the emptiness floor? There is literally nothing. No light, no heat, no air, no sound. Even the spiritual energy is so scarce that once it leaks, it disperses into the pitch-black void. Facing the profound darkness, not just me, but the other Earth Tribe members seem startled, showing signs of surprise. The nascent soul stage sea dragons who followed Seo Huil are also huddling and looking around. Not just the sea dragons, but other demon beasts who arrived are in the same state. Is this where the immortal beast blood fusion is held? We're to undergo a survival test here? It won't be easy. Even just breathing scatters spiritual energy. Just when they are all muttering. Flash. Suddenly, the darkest lowest floor is brightly illuminated. A golden flash of light shines in all directions. All demon beasts who arrived at the lowest floor look up in surprise. There, a familiar face is present. It's Gurion, an elder of the True Dragon Alliance who came to fetch us before. It seems everyone has arrived. I am Gurion, an elder of the True Dragon Alliance, overseeing this immortal beast blood fusion. First, if there are any 4-axis stage cultivators from major races, stop protecting your own race and come this way. At that command, Seo Huil from the Sea Dragon race and several other demon beasts from various races fly up to stand by Gurion's side. Ugh. Who's so cold? As Seo Huil disappears, the surrounding sea dragons start to shiver uncontrollably. Is this the cold of the emptiness floor now that Sir Seo Huil stopped his protection? Harsh. I am momentarily puzzled as I watch the sea dragons around me shivering. What's going on? Nothing changed. The temperature of the emptiness floor, terribly cold from the beginning, hadn't changed at all. Yet, suddenly, the later stage cultivators of the sea dragon race started to shiver. I realized something from this situation. That guy Seo Huil. He hasn't been protecting me from the start. It's a really simple fact. Wawoom. As the 4-axis stage Earth Tribe members stand next to Gurion, the light emanating from her becomes even brighter. I'm startled, realizing the nature of the light emanating from Gurion. Life force itself. In the void of emptiness where nothing exists, Gurion is producing the most pure and original spiritual energy, the power of life. That's a 4-axis stage cultivator. Those who awaken the power of life. It seems true that reaching 4-axis grants an incomparably longer lifespan, as she illuminates the darkness with life force itself. No, it's not just by herself. She is emitting an even brighter light with the help of the energy from the surrounding 4-axis stage cultivators. Regardless, the golden light emitted by the 4-axis cultivators color the surroundings, dispelling the darkness and revealing the scenery around us to some extent. We are in a desert of sand. Across this sand desert, numerous unique demon races are densely packed, including the sea dragons, demon beasts I have never seen in my life, and even those who look like rocks, making one doubt if they are alive. Countless demon race beasts are scattered as far as the eye can see. 10,000, 15,000, roughly around 12,000 I estimate. Moreover, the majority of them are at the core formation and nascent soul stages. I am the only one at the chi building stage. Then, Gurion begins to speak amidst the golden light. First, I express my respect to all the later stage Earth Tribe members who have come here. All of you have bravely participated in the immortal beast blood fusion, knowing well that you might lose your lives in the battle, choosing to compete for merely 100 spots. However, as a senior, I am also worried. This immortal beast blood fusion, as I say again, is an extreme survival test that takes place in the void of emptiness. Let me say this one last time. The immortal beast blood fusion is a test accompanied by death, and those who wish to give up are advised to do so now. Is there anyone who wants to give up? Come forward now. However, no demon beast steps forward. Gurion seems to nod indifferently at this, but I could read a feeling of pity in her intent. Good. Since there are no quitters, we will now commence the immortal beast blood fusion. The rules are simple. Just survive until the last 100 remain. Flash. As she waves her hand, golden life force spreads around, etching strange patterns on the arms and legs of each demon beast. It's a number in demon script, 13,252. The number etched on your bodies represents the number of other immortal beast blood fusion participants currently in the battlegrounds. As each participant is eliminated, the number will change accordingly. You just need to endure until that number reaches 100. However, as you know, there is no withdrawal from the immortal beast blood fusion midway. Therefore, for your given numbers to drop below 100, a significant number of you must either die or become incapacitated. Now, that's roughly it for the explanation. Is there anything you're curious about? Excuse me, Examiner. What does incapacitated mean? A demon beast asks Gurion, who replies with a cold gaze but internally with a hint of pity, speaking loudly. Being on the verge of death, reaching a comatose state is recognized as an incapacitated state for the immortal beast blood fusion, and you'll be transported to the second floor of Serving Command Arkansas. However, usually, if you reach such a state, expect your cultivation to drop by several levels. I understand. Any more questions? Yes. I have something I want to make sure of. If the goal of this competition is to survive until fewer than 100 Earth Tribe members remain, does that mean the main objective of the immortal beast blood fusion is essentially to reduce the number of competitors quickly? A demon beast resembling a praying mantis asks with a murderous intent, directing the question at Gurion. Gurion smirks. Well, most would think so, but it's a bit different. This immortal beast blood fusion is ultimately a competition to select those demon beasts strong enough in life force to accept the true blood of immortal beasts, and as such, survivability is the main focus of the competition. You'll understand once the competition properly begins. Yes, well, I take it as a confirmation that it's okay to reduce the number of other competitors. Do as you will. The mantis demon beast cackles, not hiding its murderous intent. The demon beasts around it show discomfort, stepping back a few paces from it. However, Gurion seems to send a pitiful intent towards that demon beast. Whatever it is, the real immortal beast blood fusion will demand tremendous survivability. It isn't going to be difficult for me. Over the past 6 months, not just me, but also Yuan Yu regained its cultivation. Unlike me, who had no foundation in cultivation right after returning, Yuan Yu had a foundation in core formation stage cultivation, so he could quickly regain his core formation stage cultivation. Since I wore Yuan Yu for this immortal beast blood fusion, I'm not particularly worried about my survivability. More questions follow. Does the immortal beast blood fusion not end until there are fewer than 100 members left? That's right. I know what you're worried about. You're concerned that the immortal beast blood fusion will drag on for years, aren't you? That won't happen. It will conclude within 4 months at most. After a few more questions, Gurion looks around the assembly and says, "Are there no more questions? Then, let's start the real immortal beast blood fusion." Yes. Numerous demon beasts respond loudly. Gurion raises her hand to the sky and slams it down. From this moment, the immortal beast blood fusion begins. Boom. Simultaneously, the desert crumbles into pieces, starting to collapse downward. It wasn't split by mere physical force. Observing the flow of spiritual energy between Gurion and the desert, I realized the true identity of the desert. Was the desert itself a manifestation of Gurion's spell? Russell. As the desert splits, a dark space below is revealed. An absolute darkness, akin to the void, is exposed. However, unlike the void, it's impossible to read the plane and return to the current realm because this realm is not the void but a space within the realm itself. SSSHHH. Gasp. I nearly lost consciousness momentarily due to the insane cold enveloping me. What on earth is this? Cold. I knew the immortal beast blood fusion wouldn't be easy, but I didn't expect it to be this chilling. Nothingness. Absolute darkness. Perhaps this is what outer space is like. Life force itself is being drawn away. In this pitch-black void, merely existing led to your life force naturally escaping into the void and disperse. Enduring this mind-numbing cold, I understand why Gurion sneered at those demon beasts trying to eliminate competitors while also pitying them. Reduce competitors? Ridiculous. That's impossible. Just being here feels like the soul itself might freeze over. No, it's not even cold. This is more akin to death itself. The 4th floor is called the death floor, but isn't that a title more fitting for the 1st floor? Before long, the desert that had become our ground scatters into the darkness. The light provided by Gurion and the 4-axis masters also vanishes somewhere. Without attempting to locate other demons around me, I immediately begin to circulate my spiritual power. Womb. My pure spiritual force flows vigorously within me, reviving my dying body. Womb, womb, womb. A faint light emanates from my body, finally making me feel slightly alive. This won't do. But as I see even the faintest glimmer of light gradually scatter into the darkness, I clench my teeth. I need another way. At this rate, all life force will disperse and I'll die. A test of life force. Life force. Tick. Tick, 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 tick. For the first time, my body, which had never moved uncontrollably, chatters its teeth on its own. It isn't a matter of will. The very presence of death itself caused my body to react instinctively. I will certainly die if it continues this way. It can't end like this. If it's a test of life force, then activating life force is the key. And there's nothing better than cultivation to activate life force. The space may be scarce in spiritual energy, but that's actually for the better. In such a space, Co Huiol's gaze cannot reach me, meaning I can take as much time as needed for proper cultivation. The lack of spiritual energy isn't a problem either. Wawum. Canvas of myriad forms and connections. TSD TSD TSD. The ethereal form of an artifact spirit appears before me. The countless figures of artifact spirits, containing my myriad connections, transformed back into my form according to my will. And I soon overlap with my figure. Zoom. A massive amount of spiritual energy stored within the artifact spirit transfers into my body. From the moment I heard that the immortal beast blood fusion is a competition for survival, I believed I could easily make it into the last 100. Using the record of transcending cultivation and exhausting martial arts to hide my presence and absorbing only the spiritual energy from the canvas of myriad forms and connections is enough to endure. But seeing the harsh environment of emptiness, most demon races would exhaust all their life force and vitality just trying to survive in this space. There's no need to use the record of transcending cultivation and exhausting martial arts. With the spiritual energy of canvas of myriad forms and connections, I can calmly cultivate and wait out the time. Wawum. I transfer the cultivation of Azure Spirit Starlight Quintessence Great Method into my body, which I have been cautious about practicing fully due to Co Huiol's suspicion. Since Co Huiol is acquainted with Azure Tiger Saint, practicing Azure Spirit Starlight Quintessence Great Method could have been problematic if discovered, as changes in the body in the initial stages are easily noticeable. During the 6 months, Co Huiol called me out every 3 days to check my cultivation progress. Azure Spirit Starlight Quintessence Great Method, which causes significant bodily changes in the early stages, had to be approached with caution. According to Gurion, it seems I can buy about 4 months of time within this area. With 4 months, I can summon the chi and blood stored from the Azure Spirit Starlight Quintessence Great Method in my past life. Chi is the soul. Thus, the Dharma treasure attached to my soul and the cultivation stored in the canvas of myriad forms and connections could transcend time to join me. Chi is life. Extremely pure spiritual energy is, in essence, life force itself. Therefore, cultivating the Azure Spirit Starlight Quintessence Great Method, which maximizes life force by condensing spiritual energy to its extreme, is also possible after regression. Crack, creak. A tremendous life force circulates throughout my body. Arg. The pains I experienced while cultivating the Azure Spirit Starlight Quintessence Great Method in my past life, compressed into a short time, strikes my mind. It's brain-numbingly painful. Yet, I clench my teeth, enduring the pain and accepting the life force surging throughout my body. The immense life force circulates through my body, elevating my chi and blood, and begins to recreate the indestructible body I had forged in my past life. Creak, creak. I continue my cultivation amidst the pain that feels as if my entire body is being crushed. Although it feels like my body is shattering, that very agony drives away the cold and darkness of the empty void. I can endure this. In the lowest floor of Serving Command Arc, I smile as I continue my cultivation fueled by life force. With this, I can endure to the end. Wrapped in pain as if my body is being crushed, the heat generated from the pain drives the cold away. Confident I can endure till the end of the immortal beast blood fusion, I spend my time in deep cultivation. Before long, the number recorded on my arm rapidly decreased. In just a few days, the number of demon beasts that had reached 13,000 had dropped to 5,000. And then, I understood why Gurion said a conclusion could be reached within 4 months. As the numbers dwindle, the darkness intensifies. It became colder and more desolate than before. In the emptiness floor, nothingness itself seems to materialize, attempting to devour me. I can endure it for now, but as the numbers further decrease, the darkness will intensify. When that happens, the life force being generated from practicing the Azure Spirit Starlight Quintessence Great Method will be surpassed by the life force escaping from my body. Can I truly endure it? I clench my teeth and resist against the cold, against this death, and endure. Time passed exceedingly slowly. For months on end, floating aimlessly in the darkness without any light or warmth. Now, there are only 200 left. The cold and darkness became even more intense. It felt as though the darkness was creeping into my eyes, nose, and mouth. It was as if darkness, not blood, flowed through my veins. Just a bit more, just endure a bit longer. Fortunately, I had access to vastly more resources than others through the canvas of myriad forms and connections. Enduring wouldn't be difficult. And finally, on the 4th month, as Gurion had mentioned, just exhaling caused a burst of light to escape my mouth and scatter into the darkness. I'll die. Enduring any longer means death. I truly feel death creeping up to my throat. As the number of surviving demon beasts decreased, the darkness and cold intensified, leaving only 103 remaining. Just 3 more to go. But within this soul-chilling cold, all I want is to leave. Immortal beast blood fusion be damned. The cold is beyond what mere willpower can overcome. Crack, crack, crack. I ground my teeth, focusing on the number displayed on my arm. The number, which had been 103, had now reduced to 102. Just a little longer, and this unbearable cold will pass. I will be able to leave. 101. Only one more person needs to fall into a comatose state for the immortal beast blood fusion to end. However, seeing that number, I can't help but laugh at myself. My life force is surprisingly tenacious. No, it's more due to the canvas of myriad forms and connections than my own life force. I've been enduring by cultivating the Azure Spirit Starlight Quintessence great method through the canvas of myriad forms and connections. But now, even the Azure Spirit Starlight Quintessence great method is struggling against the cold, which is not merely the Een attribute, but rather the absolute nothingness of this empty space, making it all the more difficult to endure. It's like my mind is drying up. It feels like 4 years, not 4 months. But it will all be over soon. Looking at the number 101, I desperately wish for the one to disappear quickly. How much time has passed? Finally, the moment I have been waiting for arrived. 100. Finally, the immortal beast blood fusion is over. Or so I thought when. Nothing changes. What's going on? After the immortal beast blood fusion ends, we are supposed to be transported to the 2nd floor. But why hasn't anything happened yet? Gurion said it herself. When the number reaches 100, the immortal beast blood fusion is supposed to end. Right, maybe it just takes a little time. There couldn't be any problems. I calmly wait to be transported in the cold. 10 more days passed. Something's wrong. This shouldn't be happening. Why am I still here even though the immortal beast blood fusion has ended? Is this Co Wheel's trick? Did Co Wheel manipulate this to send all participants of the immortal beast blood fusion to their doom? But no matter how much I think about it, there's no reason for Co Wheel to do such a thing. Or has the cold made me lose my sense of time? But that doesn't make sense either. My mind is too clear. I'm not insane. And considering everything with a clear head, there's no reason for Co Wheel to do this. Moreover, from what I gathered in the 6 months before participating in the immortal beast blood fusion, it has always been conducted fairly. There's no room for Co Wheel's interference. It can't be that this was done deliberately to kill me. Even if I am suspicious, Co Wheel's character would suggest he'd use me to the fullest before letting me die, not kill me off for no reason. Something's wrong. I decided to wait a little longer, trembling in the cold. Another month passed. Perhaps, by some terrible stroke of luck, something went wrong with the emptiness floor just when I participated? I'm not insane. And unless Co Wheel decided on a whim to kill me just for fun, I can't think of any other explanation. No, more than that. I've been sustaining myself by cultivating the Azure Spirit Starlight Quintessence great method with the life force accumulated in the canvas of myriad forms and connections. But how are the other demon beasts still alive? 2 more months passed since the immortal beast blood fusion was supposed to end. Yet, the number still points to 100. Indeed, something must have gone wrong with the immortal beast blood fusion. Damn it. I can't just die here frozen like some Co Unhyan frozen popsicle. Determined to not die here, I decide to somehow escape this place. Crack, crack, crack. I drew out my formless sword and swing it around me. But in this area devoid of spiritual energy, it's difficult to cut through anything. Floating in the void, I gather spiritual energy and spray it around, trying to navigate the dark space. But I find nothing. It's vast and cold. If only I can find something that activates the immortal beast blood fusion, something that triggers the darkness of this emptiness floor. Clenching my teeth, I fight through the darkness, searching for a way out. A year passes. Crack, crack, crack. Even trying to move a finger causes my whole body to crackle. It can't go on like this. Something must have gone seriously wrong. Have all the demon beasts participating in the immortal beast blood fusion been sealed in the lowest layer? A year passed without finding any hope. I had no choice but to float aimlessly in the void space. I must find a way. If things continue this way, finding an exit or getting out will be secondary. I fear I might die consumed by the darkness, dying from the soul-chilling cold, from the utter nothingness. What should I do? As I float in the void space, pondering my next move. Whoosh. The moment I try to cross my arms, something in my bosom brushes against my hand. This is a small spirit stone. I remember the identity of the spirit stone and observe it. It's the vast cold formula I bought from the demon beast merchant last time. The most basic among the basics, the foundational beast methods, was it? Suddenly, I decide to cultivate the Azure Spirit Starlight Quintessence Great Method along with the vast cold formula. If I can't find a way out of this emptiness floor, I might as well endure until I'm rescued. Instead of seeking a way out, I choose to endure as long as possible. Let's endure somehow. Whether Co Huiol played tricks, or something's gone wrong with the serving command arc, let's just endure. Wawoom. Clenching my teeth, I read the demon script embedded in the spirit stone and manipulated spiritual energy according to the vast cold formula's instructions. Wawoom. At first, it was a bit unfamiliar. But after another year in the void space, I could feel what demon beast methods are about. Demon beast methods are essentially explosions. I felt this when cultivating the summoning wind, dragon transformation. Inner cores of demon beasts concentrate spiritual energy within their demon cores before causing an explosion. By repeating these explosions, they gradually expand their demon core's capacity, absorbing more chi as their vessel grows. This is the foundation of all demon beast methods. But as I continued reading the vast cold formula, I realized how absurd the summoning wind, dragon transformation method is. Did Co Huiol really throw me a bomb like the summoning wind, dragon transformation to cultivate? All demon beast methods are based on the following principle. The spiritual energy of heaven and earth rotates as yin and yang, forming taiji. Thus, to vision of the demon race who can see the essence of spiritual energy, all things in the universe appear as taiji. The core of the demon beast method is to rotate this taiji strongly within the demon core, crashing it together to cause an explosion. While yin and yang explode upon collision, they also achieve harmony and stabilize instantly, ensuring the safety of practicing demon beast methods, though it may be painful. However, the summoning wind, dragon transformation Co Huiol gave me contains no details on the circulation of taiji, only methods to recklessly explode the demon core. Damn dragon. I curse Co Huiol inwardly and continue to repeat the steps of the vast cold formula. 3 more years pass. Now I have spent 5 years in the darkness. Demon beast methods are truly simple. At the chi refining stage, weak chi is circulated and exploded. At the chi building stage, one's life force is linked with the demon core to circulate the taiji more intensely before colliding and exploding it. At the core formation stage, the now strengthened demon core, as resilient as a human's golden core, is exploded and reformed multiple times to refine chi. Circulating the taiji to cause an explosion results in refined pure spiritual energy. In other words, life force that continuously fills into the body. This is the essence of all demon beast methods. Unlike humans who create a law-transforming dantian with the flow of yin and yang and reach the nascent soul stage to cultivate the yin and yang spirit, demon beasts stubbornly focus solely on the flow of yin and yang from the beginning, and upon reaching the nascent soul stage, they circulate the nascent soul with the flow of yin and yang again. Compared to the Heaven Tribes method, which are maddeningly complex and involve memorizing intricate incantations, performing sacrificial rituals, and reading the celestial trends, it's almost as simple as leaving it to instinct. Perhaps it is correct for demon beasts to learn demon beast methods by instinct. Originally, wild animals without intelligence, after gaining spiritual awareness and the ability to see spiritual energy, circulate the yin and yang within their bodies according to their vision and then explode it. Its simplicity allows even those demon beasts without intellect to learn such methods. Boom. I frown as I feel the chi explode in my dantian. It's not easy. Although it's not as complex as the methods of the human race, including those of the Heaven Tribe, and is simple, that doesn't mean it's easy to learn. Demon beast methods, like body refining methods, or in some ways, even more so, accompany terrible pain. Every time spiritual energy is exploded in the dantian as part of their cultivation, they have to endure the pain of their dantian being shattered at every moment. This is even worse for core formation stage demons, as they have to explode their demon core itself, enduring horrible pain. Another 5 years pass. 10 years in the emptiness floor. It's hard to gauge how much time I've wasted. By all rights, I should have regained my nascent soul cultivation with abundant spiritual energy outside by now. But here I am, barely surviving in the void, only increasing my understanding of demon beast methods. Boom. I suffer unbearable pain as if my dantian is shattering as I practice both the vast cold formula and the Azure Spirit Starlight Quintessence Great Method. Gradually, the cold of the emptiness floor recedes before the heat of pain. Thump, thump, thump. It's like a heart. Practicing demon beast methods feels as if there is another heart in my dantian. Every time the heart beats, blood is pumped through the arteries to the entire body, then returns to the heart through the veins. Every time the yin and yang in the dantian explode, that explosive force sweeps through the body, refining it, then condenses back inside the dantian, becoming pure life force that heals the body. Life is, in essence, an explosion. Thump, thump, thump. The vast cold formula and the azure spirit starlight quintessence great method elevate my life through explosions. And at some point, flash, I feel a peculiar sensation as if the vast cold formula and the azure spirit starlight quintessence great method are emerging around my inner core. This is the azure spirit starlight quintessence great method is evolving. No, that's not it. Originally, body refining methods are a degraded version of demon beast methods. Now, the foundational demon beast method, the vast cold formula operates within my inner core, making the degraded body refining method reach an equivalent condition as demon beast methods, revealing its essence. This is the true power of the azure spirit starlight quintessence great method. Boom. Creak, creak. It's cold. So very cold. But at the same time, I realize fundamental changes occurring throughout my body. Crack, crack. A complete transformation. Just as the 5 energies converging to the origin led me to understand how the spiritual energy of heaven and earth can guide my body on the correct path. Now, once again, the spiritual energy of heaven and earth begins to show me how my body can evolve even more correctly. Crack. This is spiritual energy rotates before my eyes. Yin and yang collapse, entering my body to form a double helix. Yin and yang ascend the double helix, unraveling the secrets of the flesh accumulated from the past and providing the correct direction for evolution. Crack. I adjust my body according to that direction and finally complete the metamorphosis. Simultaneously, I feel my consciousness naturally taking on a specific form. So it is. The area of consciousness that enveloped me in a circle transformed into a complete human form, covering me. Could it be that humans, before discovering the rituals to become part of the Heaven tribe, were a kind of demon beast? Gurgle. As my consciousness transforms into human form and I move my fist, I feel an immense power in my fist, unlike anything I had felt before. Finally, I have reached a new realm of demon beast methods. At the same time, I am engulfed in a sense of awe towards Kim Young-hoon. Without even touching body refining methods, did a martial artist with a mortal body trace back the origins of martial arts to find the path to human demon beast methods? The other path that Kim Young-hoon struggled to find beyond the ultimate pinnacle in his quest for a way forward. That was precisely demon beast methods, found in the library of Seo Ran, not the real demon beast methods for beasts, but for humans. That was the other path Kim Young-hoon discovered while evolving martial arts. It turns out I reached that path in the end. I recall Kim Young-hoon from that cycle and smile wryly. Gee, is this the end? After undergoing complete transformation and witnessing the life force escaping from my entire body, I laugh with self-deprecation. It's good to have realized the true meaning of demon beast methods through complete transformation. But in doing so, I have almost used up all the spiritual energy inside my body. There is hardly any life force left in the canvas of myriad forms and connections. If this had been a place abundant with spiritual energy, I could have replenished it immediately, but in this absolute realm of death, it's impossible. Am I going to die in such a futile manner? I feel my eyes closing and laugh. Well, at least, I confirmed what the other path that Kim Young-hoon discovered was. Maybe such a death isn't entirely in vain. Thinking this, I close my eyes. I thought it was my 16th return. You've endured 10 years. Crackle, crackle. I open my eyes in front of a campfire. Where's this? It's dark. It isn't cold, but it is still dark. Yet, I can see clearly. But there is no light. Strange. Everything around me is so clearly perceived, yet the actual existence of light is distinctly absent. What is this? Bizarre. Living beings perceive objects through light. But for some reason, even without light, I feel everything around me is perceivable. In front of me is a bonfire. But the bonfire has no light, only heat. Around the bonfire are numerous statues, each an exquisite work of art. As I'm puzzled by the sudden situation, take a seat. You've endured 10 years, so you only have 10 seconds to converse with this seat. Of course, if we really talked for just 10 seconds, we wouldn't get anywhere. So this seat has warp time to make 1 second last a day. What? Someone is sitting in front of me. I try to look up at them. That moment. Arg. My eyes. My eyes suddenly vaporized. Without any warning, trying to perceive the other made my eyeballs evaporate and fly into the air. Not just the eyes. My entire body, my whole body is vaporizing. I'm dying. Sit. The next moment, as soon as they tell me to sit, my vaporizing body resettles. And somehow, I find myself sitting properly on one of the surrounding statues. Do not look directly at this seat. If it were this seat's main body, we might converse properly adjusting to your level. However, as I am but a remnant thought, a fragment left by the main body, this seat might accidentally kill you if I fail to adjust properly. Ha ha, my heart is racing. This seat is the master of liberation. If you look directly at me, the essence that constitutes you will be liberated from the framework of you and vaporize into extinction. You are. My head is spinning. As soon as I guessed the identity of the being before me, my consciousness shook as if it was about to collapse, and my sense of direction vanished, making me feel as though I would fall to the ground at any moment. The pain of being trapped in the void for 10 years is instantly forgotten, and a new sense of fear, awe, and reverence painted over my mind. This seat's name is Bong Myong, Serving Command. I am the creator of the Serving Command arc you entered. The being before me is, at the very least, a true immortal. I distorted 10 years of time to summon you here for a conversation. Now, shall we talk, Ender and Fate Person? Translator notes. Donated chapter by Dragging 105. Thanks for the support.